Alright, everybody, welcome to the Unhuman party of episode 5 of Umineko When They Cry, also known as Umineko no Nakukoro ni Nocturne of Truth and Illusions. So last time we read through the tea party, we finished that up. We also took a little peek at the picture box, added the music box, had a little fun with that, checked out the trophies. Tea party was relatively short, so we had plenty of time to do all that stuff and to check the character files and that. But now, we're gonna get to the Unhuman party. Are you all excited? Now, I wonder if you're going to see a human for the first time in the Unhuman party, or whether we're going to leave human stuff, or whether we're going to leave the cliffhanger that was the ending of episode 5 to episode 6. Because maybe we might just go like, alright, you know what? Can't be bothered. We can't be bothered having Battler. What am I trying to say? We can't be bothered having, you know, we can't have a human in the Unhuman party, so we'll just send him off. So we'll just continue off the cliffhanger of episode 5's ending in episode 6. Or maybe we'll be like, you know what? We can have a human this one time in this one Unhuman party, even though it's an Unhuman party. We'll allow it. So, yeah, let's get right into it. I'm not here to waste y'all's time anymore. Why are we here to waste time? Alright, let's go. Let's get right into it. Episode 5 Unhuman party. Whoa! Let's dive into this. Okay. Exciting stuff. Alright, the wind is blowing. This is the void. Narrator's gonna talk. What's gonna happen? Okay. Battler. Okay. In the cathedral, devoid of people, a figure could be seen still staring up at the heavens. Its chest pierced with a long red sword which pinned it in place to the ground. It was the figure of Battler. Okay. It's devoid of people right now. Ironically, it looked just like what he had done to Berto with... That's what I was saying! I said this, you know! It looked just like what he had done to Berto with blue wedges in the 4th game. Now it's done to him with a red longsword in this game. I said this! I said this when I first saw this, I think 2 or 3 parts ago now. Well, you know, a couple parts ago before the tea party. I said when I first saw this spread, I was like, yo, that looks like the spread of Berto when she got pierced with the wedges. You know what I mean? I said that in episode 4. And now the visual is referencing it themselves. So there we go. Me and the visual were we're alike, thinking alike. See that? Ironic enough, now he gets to experience what it felt like for Berto. He gets to experience it for himself, getting pierced through. All right. Battler had died quite some time ago. No. In this place, the concept of death means nothing except that one has stopped thinking. Therefore, in a sense, Battler was not dead. Hey yo, Battler, start thinking again. You said dame dana. So you clearly didn't stop thinking. You clearly had a plan. Start thinking again. I know you're alive. After being defeated in a fight over the truth, he no longer had the strength to think of a way to resist. And so, he was dead. Lanor's massive longsword. Hey, yo. Pause. What a description there. Ooh. Which had been left in place of a tombstone. Fastened Battler to the spot even after his death. Okay. There's someone walking in. I hear footsteps. This was being lit by a faint light seeping out of a high skylight. Who's walking in? Is it Angie? Is my sister back? She's not gonna save me another time. She was the one that told me to never stop thinking. She's not gonna come back here to remind me why again. Quiet footsteps rang out across the still cathedral. Oh! Beato? From the darkness behind a pillar, A woman slowly stepped forwards. It was Beatrice. Beato? The doll? She's here to greet me in my death? Her eyes had no light in them, and looked the same way they had for so long in the Golden Land, still muddied over with grey. Previously, she couldn't even drink black tea properly without assistance, but now, though it was slow, and though there was no life in her eyes, she was, surprisingly, walking. Beato? I promised to kill you, and yet I'm dead. And with slow, deliberate steps, she reached Battler, who was still dead and pierced. Then, slowly, she touched him. Hey, don't touch me. Hey, yo, I didn't consent. Hey, I know it's a corpse. I know I'm dead, but I didn't consent to this. Hey, yo, what's up? She tugged on his sleeve. Why? What do you want from me now? What? I tried. Listen, I couldn't think of any more theories. That's tough. However, Battler showed no reaction. When she realized that it wasn't sleep, but death, the witch with the I can't speak. The witch with the forlorn gaze drooped her head even lower. Then she quietly whispered,
"Usotsuki."
That's tough. That's tough. And allegedly, this is the second time Battler lied to her about a promise. I don't know what the first promise between them was, because we haven't been shown that yet. I don't know if I'm even willing to believe that Battler promised her anything. I gotta see her side of the things. What did Battler ever promise her? But I'll give her this one. Battler is garbage. He's incompetent. He promised to kill you. He didn't kill you. He stopped thinking he can do it. He did not go through with his promise. Wild. Beato softly touched Battler. Then she pressed her forehead against Battler's chest. I didn't consent to this. There was no longer any heartbeat. Crazy. It wasn't just because he had surrendered. It was because the witches had banished him from the game board. So now, Battler would never return. So now, the Golden Witch Beatrice had no more reason to exist.
ありがとう、嘘つき。さよなら。そして、ごめんね。
You're sorry? Sorry for what? Wasn't I the one that broke the promise? What's up? I mean, you should be sorry still, though. I mean, apparently my promise was so bad that you were willing to go on a killing spree and humiliate me for however many episodes. But a bit late to say sorry after I'm dead for all that. So you're finally going to apologize for killing my family over and over, for laughing while doing it, for whatever reason, and for humiliating me. Wait. What was that about you? Why'd you for walking me around like a dog naked? For having me kiss your feet? For having me button up your dress? Now you're gonna say you're sorry for all that? Now, after I'm dead? Wild. You're kinda like Nazi though. Nazi also said she's sorry to the baby she threw off the cliff after she died, after the baby died. Okay. She's crying now. Great. Alright. Oh, she's disappearing. She's dispersing. I mean... But... Okay. Bye. Bye. Where are you off to? Okay. Lights, sun. Oh. Okay. Then, the Gold Witch, her task completed, scattered as a spear of gold. Her task? Oh, but what was her task? Wasn't her task to make Battler believe in... Ow! Yeah, I guess she did complete it. Because her task was for Battler to believe that witches could exist. And Battler said that he'd rather let witches exist than for Nazi to be the culprit. So in a way, her task is complete. You know, this would have been wild if this entire time Beth was tricking Battler. If this oh my god, imagine just like in episode 3. Imagine this entire episode was just Beto tricking Battler to make him believe witches exist. And at the very end, she'd be like, "Yeah, so you do believe witches exist, right?" And Bern and Lander just playing along with it. And Erica, oh my god, would I have been gone a second time? Nah, 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 dude. Nah, see, the reason why I didn't think that would happen is because Brigitte said that Beto wasn't doing it for pleasure. If it was for that, I think I would actually gone along and believe that this entire thing might have been a trick, you know. Once again, just like in episode 3, she was just gonna laugh and go, "Yes, now I believe witches exist. I win the game board, woo!" Alright. But imagine though. Alright. Rain? In the golden land, the grey rain gently continued to fall. There was a faint aroma of good black tea. Beato stared blankly at the surface of the tea. There was Virgilia continuing her knitting, along with me and Delanor talking to each other. This is a flashback. Flashback time. Let's go, flashback boost. Main protagonist boost. A flashback to a memory of battlers, which Delanor's sword must have given him as it pierced him. A flashback of that time Delanor had come to visit the tea party in the Golden Land. And she wasn't.
上等だ。相手してやるぜ。全力で来い。
約束します。全力です。
And she did. Delanor. I thought she was a ruthless killer doll without a heart. But maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Though of course, neither of us will show any mercy when fighting on the game board. For a while, we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden as we quietly enjoyed our tea.
しかし、恐ろしいもんだな。お前の戦い方は。ノックス実会だったっけか?
Okay, we got some new tips to check out.
ミステリーのお約束ってやつだろ。
Alright. You can check them out real quick. Nox's Decalogue. Nox's Decalogue. The Ten Commandments created by Delanor A. Nox's father and used in heresy trials. So she did kill her father, according to the people. According to you guys in the comments, Delanor apparently killed her father because her father broke one of the Nox commandments or something. And so she just kind of killed her father. That's how ruthless she is. Or I say ruthless, but I guess she does have some kind of heart. But she did execute her father. So now we get to read out all the Nox commandments, which have already been read out by Delanor herself multiple times. But we're gonna read them out again, just to get a quick little reminder. Now these are like a remixed version of what they actually are in real life. But this is the version that he's using in Umineko. So Nox is first. It is forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in the early part of the story. Nox is second. It is forbidden for supernatural agencies to be employed as a detective technique. Nox is third. It is forbidden for hidden passages to exist. Nox is fourth. It is forbidden for unknown drugs or obscure scientific devices to be used. Nox is fifth, not included. So I don't know. I think Nox is fifth is one about the Chinaman, right? And that's why it's not included. Let's see, golden. Okay, I'm checking them out right now. Checking the Nox commandments right now. I'm googling them real quick. So yeah. So the fifth Nox commandment was no Chinaman must figure in the story. It was like a racist thing back then that the Chinese character was the culprit, kind of like a racist thing. So to combat that, the fifth Noxman was supposed to be that no Chinaman is the culprit or must figure in the story. Of course, in the context of Umineko, doesn't matter, useless info. And also in today's fiction, also doesn't really matter. It's outdated, obviously, but at the time it was an actual thing. But yeah. It says here the no Chinaman rule was a reaction to and criticism of racial cliches prevalent in 1920s English writing. Knox explained, "I see no reason in the nature of things why a Chinaman should spoil a detective story, but as a matter of fact, if you are turning over the pages of an unknown romance in a bookstore and come across some mention of the narrow slit-like eyes of Chin Lu, avoid that story. It is bad." So this is what Knox said. The real life Knox, but not the visual novel Knox. But yeah, okay. So Knox sixth, it is forbidden for accident or unaccountable intuition to be employed as a detective technique. So this was used to counter what Batter said, that Nazi is not the culprit. She just went Knox is sixth. No, she said Knox is second actually for that one. But I guess it also does fall into Knox is sixth, right? Unaccountable intuition, a detective technique. You can't just be saying, "Oh, it's this," and go along with it. I do want to check out. Let's see, Knox. Okay, Knox is seventh. It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. Knox is eighth. It is forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. Knox is ninth. Observers are permitted to put forward their own conclusions and interpretations. Knox is 10th. It is forbidden for a character to disguise themselves as another without any clues. So I believe Knox is 10th in real life is that no twins can exist in the story. But again, Umineko has kind of done a remix of that. Or no twins or doubles can exist in the story, but Umineko has done a remix to say, instead of no twins or doubles, it is forbidden for a character to disguise themselves as another without any clues. So that's the... So doubles can exist, but there will have to be clues for it. You know what I mean? So when I made that theory a while back that I don't believe in anymore, by the way, that maybe Shannon and Connor are the same person, there would need to be a clue for that to be the case. There would need to be a clue for Shannon to disguise herself as Connor, and that is why Connon's corpse is never found at the end of any episode, because Shannon always disguises herself as Connor. But there would need to be clues for that, and I don't know what's going on with Connon's corpse. I guess it is a clue. The fact that Connon's corpse it does disappear is a clue as to, you know, someone disguising herself as him, someone disguising themselves as Connor. But for it to be Shannon, what clues are there? Well, the fact that Connor calls Shannon Nechan, his sister, how is that a clue that they're closely related, or is it they're always together in a sense? But how is that a clue that she's the one disguising herself as Connor? We need more of a concrete clue, I think. So, yeah, I've let go of that theory now. But anyway, let's keep reading here. The debate over the interpretation of these laws continues to this very day, and it has become the source of countless unfair controversies. While fundamentalists call any infringement upon these commandments heresy, revisionists point out that many canonized geniuses have violated these rules. Okay. Okay. The commandments conceived by my father.
隠し扉は存在してはならない。ノックス第3条だっけか？
Yeah.
だから探偵は隠し扉を探す必要さえないわけだ。
Correct.
なかなかの暴論だな。
Unless the hidden door has already been established. Then that wouldn't break with Nox's 8th commandment either. Like, we know there's a hidden door that leads to wherever the gold is, right? So, but that's already been established, so. Burncastle talked about this. She said that even searching for hidden doors was a waste of time because they're forbidden by Nox's 3rd commandment. It makes me want to argue back and say it isn't so uncommon for a rich family's mansion to have a hidden door or two built into it. But apparently, you can get away with that kind of rule in the mystery genre. As an aside, there exist many wonderful mysteries in which hidden doors appear, and where hidden doors are the theme. Alright, thank you for pointing that out, visual novel. Though of course this is limited to novels which have the premise that hidden doors exist. Like, exactly, without that premise hidden doors mustn't exist. So if that premise isn't there, there's no need to search for hidden doors. Exactly. Like, the premise of a hidden door existing that will lead you to wherever the 10 tons of gold is. That's already been a premise that has been established since early on in episode 1. We knew since episode 1 that there's a hidden place that leads you to where the gold is. So, outside of that premise, hidden doors must not exist. But otherwise, hidden doors do exist in Rockin' Jiva, and those doors lead you to where the gold's at. There's also a hidden mansion. But again, that has been established that there's a hidden mansion. I think that's probably the essence of her ridiculous argument. I get the feeling that the detective trying to expose the truth and the illusion trying to mask it with fiction are getting blended together, leading to a bizarre form of argument similar to Devil's Proof. Wait, what? I get the feeling that the detective trying to expose the truth and the illusion trying to mask it with fiction are getting blended together, leading to a bizarre form of argument similar to Devil's Proof. Yeah? Making a locked room murder seem to be accomplished by a witch with magic. That's fantasy. Exposing that it was a human's crime done with tricks. That's anti-fantasy. Investigating all possibilities to expose what those tricks are. That's mystery. But claiming that possibilities... Wait, but claiming that possibilities with no hint supporting them are unworthy of investigation. That's also mystery? Hidden doors, by definition, are hidden in a way that there can't be any clues. Ooh. Ooh, is that contradictory? Because by definition, yeah, they don't have any clues, so don't search for them, but also they don't have any clues because they're not supposed to have any clues. There's not supposed to be any clues to these hidden doors because they're hidden doors. So I see what you mean. Okay, I see what you mean. Would claiming that hidden doors therefore necessarily exist even if the detective can't find them be anti-mystery? Ooh, would it? That's enough of that. That's enough of that weird discussion. This argument is too far of a digression from the riddles I'm actually supposed to be solving. Yeah. My fight is very simple. I'm only trying to explain that it was possible for a human to carry out these crimes, which were supposedly carried out by a witch. Initially, yeah, but in this episode, episode 5, you're fighting for Nazi's innocence too. So you're more willing to admit that a witch did it than for Nazi to be deemed guilty by everybody. And I think that says a lot about the heart in you, Battler. Either that, or you make a theory where someone else is the culprit and Nazi is innocent. I guess you'd rather that than to accept that a witch did it, right? This whole discussion about mystery and anti doesn't serve any purpose. So I can't bring myself to have any particular interest in the rules known as the Nox Decalogue.
Nox はお嫌いですか?
Do you dislike Nox?
苦手だな。隠し扉の存在を調べもせずに全否定可能なんだ。なんだかおかしいぜ。悪魔の証明並みにうさんくせえな。ファンタジーの対極のはずなのに、なぜか同じ論法になっちまってる気がするぜ。
I see what you mean. Oh, don't get sad, Lanor. Don't frown.
言い過ぎた。お前の親父が作ったんだもんな。
お気になさらずに、戯れに過ぎないとおっしゃる方もいらっしゃいますので。バトラ君には実会はかなり傲慢なものに感じられるのでしょう。
正直なところを言えばな。隠し扉は存在してはいけないから調べる必要さえないなんて。そんな頭のネジが落ちてないかどうか一緒に床を探してやるところだぜ。
ではバトラー、その第三条をなかったことにしましょう。
Oh yeah, so if you did away with the third commandment, will you accept the rest of the Nox commandments? Well, are those okay?
そうなったら密室ミステリーはどうなるでしょうか。
What if Nox's third commandment, hidden doors are forbidden, didn't exist? Then all mysteries would kind of be made, right? Because of the devil's proof. You can't prove that a hidden door doesn't exist. So the mysteries, from a mystery POV, the mysteries become kind of dull, don't they? But from a realistic POV, in real life, you do kind of have to go with the initial thing I'm saying now. You do kind of have to search for a hidden passage or a hidden door that goes somewhere in real life. But I guess in fiction, you gotta make it more entertaining and set up that kind of standard, right?
つまり密室トリックのオチに隠し扉が OK になるってことか。
手がかりや伏線のある隠し扉ではありません。隠しなのですから、無論探偵にも発見できない隠し扉です。バトラ君はよく悪魔の証明により発見できない X の存在を仮定して戦いますね。つまりはそういうことですよ。
最悪だな。密室ミステリーが読み物として破綻しちまう。
That was another way of saying that those kinds of stories would simply no longer work. Yeah. No one would want to try solving the mystery in the first place if they knew the answer might just be an unforeseeable hidden door.
せめて隠し扉はありませんと保証してもらってからじゃないと推理する気も起きない。なるほど。ノックス第三条は必要だな。それがなければ密室ミステリーは読み物にもなりゃしねえ。
推理する気も起きないとは、つまりどういうことですか？
You stop thinking, you die.
つまり読む気もしねえってことだな。
そういうことです。人間は推理可能だという保証を得なければ思考さえできないか弱い生き物なのです。推理可能、すなわち頑張れば解けますよという励ましが必要なのです。
That might actually be true. It's the same with exercising. Oh! Okay, yeah. If you're told to run 10 laps around the campus, you can tough it out. But if you're made to run without even knowing how many laps it's going to be, you'll probably get tired out before you make it around 3 times. The same thing goes for thinking and reasoning. Depending on whether or not a problem is guaranteed to be solvable, the way we humans react to it changes completely. This reminds me of, if you think about it, school or assignments in school as well. You know, I feel like if you're not given specific assignments to say you have to do this much before you're done, let's say you have to solve 10 questions. You have to solve 10 math questions as an assignment this week, right? And you can tough it out if you're specifically given that. But if you're not given that, you're just given loads of assignments and you're told, do assignments. You decide how many. do you think a lot of people do more than 10? And let's say each assignment takes a while to do too, you know what I mean? Takes hour, whatever, how many hours, right? Each for 10 questions. A lot of people would stop after like 3-4 questions. They'd be like, alright, cool, I've done some questions. All they told me was to do some questions. They didn't tell me to do, they didn't tell me a specific number. But if you do 10, you're going to do 10, right? You're going to tough it out and do the 10. So, and I think the trick, in a way, the way to trick yourself in life is also to trick yourself. The way to get by is to trick yourself to believe that you have to do 10. So what I mean by that is, and this is actually a trick that I use for myself too, is that I'd be like, alright, before this day is over, I gotta make sure I get to this point. You know, what I'm studying, because of course I study, I'm a student, so I'll be like, alright, I'll study, I'll make sure I get to this point. Once I get to this point, I can be satisfied for the day, and then tomorrow I'll make a new end cut-off point. Well, okay, I'll study to this point, and then I'm done. You know what I mean? And of course, university gives you a lot more liberty than high school and middle school does, where you have a lot more freedom to study. You know what? If that makes sense, you have a lot more freedom to study the way you want to. You have a lot more, as in the hours you spend in campus, watching or listening, or to the professor talking. The amount of time you spend on that is a lot less than the amount of time you spend in high school. In high school, right? It's for me at least, it was from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. almost every day. I remember it was almost every day. I wake up early, 7 a.m. I wouldn't get back home until after 4 p.m. Some days we'd finish early, 1 p.m. But that was only like one day a week or something. Rest of the days it's 3 p.m., 4 p.m., etc. Right? And well, that's cool and all. We'd also get less work to do freely, if that makes sense. Outside of school, we're not pressured to do as much work because most of the work we do is within the school. That's the way it is designed. In university, it's not how that works anymore. At least for me. For example, on Mondays, I only have 2 hours of lectures. For example, 2 hours compared to the 8 hours in high school. 2 hours. So you might be thinking, oh, university is easy. It's not. There's actually more work required for university compared to high school. Of course, you're supposed to work more. You're supposed to spend more hours. What I'm trying to say is 2 hours on the actual lecture, but then the entire rest of the day, you spend the hours. They give you the responsibility to choose how you spend the rest of the hours of the day. If you choose to be lazy and you get a bad grade, that's not the professor's fault. It's your responsibility. In high school, teachers are pressured to force the students. Teachers they force the teachers to make sure, they kind of have a responsibility for how well the students do in high school, right? In university, professors don't have that. Well, professors have to teach, obviously. This is their job. If they don't teach well enough, then yeah, it's done out. But if a student gets a bad grade, or loads of students get bad grades, that's kind of the professor's fault, though. What I'm trying to say is, if a lot of students do bad on a course, then clearly, something was wrong with the actual professor, because there's no way that many students are unmotivated to study, right? If it's a tendency, especially if students in other courses do good, there's no way that there's something going on with the course, right? But if a couple students don't do good because they're lazy, then the professor doesn't get hit for that as much, right? And so basically, I have a 2-hour lecture on a Monday, for example. The rest of the day, the rest of the 8 hours that you will have in high school, that you'll be forced to attend a lecture in high school. In university, you choose to use that however you want to, and so you're meant to spend hours of the day outside of the actual lecture on studying, right? You're meant to spend a lot of the hours of the day studying on your own, though. It's supposed to be individual study, because by university, you're expected to know how you learn the best, if that makes sense. You're expected to have learned how to learn, Does that make sense? So you're expected to teach yourself things, a lot of individual work, a lot of independent work, and if you can't take care of yourself, if you can't pull your own weight, you're done, right? You get shafted. And obviously, realistically, this is better, right? Obviously, you'd want for the students in high school to do this as well, but high school students are not seen as mature enough to be capable of doing this, especially because they're teenagers. They're not 18 years old yet. You're not expected to be that mature, but when you're in university, right, you're over 18, you're an adult now, you're a young adult, you're over 20, you should be capable of being mature and responsible enough to do your own learning, your own teaching, basically. And even the lectures, right? Another thing with university too is that the lectures, you're free to attend them or not. You're literally free to not attend any lecture. You're free to just sleep away the day. Just be like, I can't be bothered waking up at 7 a.m. I'm just gonna sleep away the day and not attend lectures. You're free to do that. In high school, you get marks off for doing that. You actually get marks off for doing that. So again, they're more strict against you in high school because you're not seen as mature enough to be capable of that. And of course, there are consequences for not meeting up in class. You get it marked down, and you get it marked down when you get your final document paper of how you did in high school. You're like, alright, out of the 70 hours of the year in this subject, you attended 40 of them. So what's up? Why didn't you attend the other 30 hours or whatever, right? Of this specific lecture. And of course, in the future, it's going to be consequential because when you want to do stuff, right? When you look for a job or whatever, they're going to see that document and be like, okay, so this person, he might be kind of lazy, doesn't meet up, you know what I mean? University, they don't do that because again, you're seen as mature enough to be capable of knowing whether to attend the lecture on your own, of your own volition. Basically, what I'm saying is, I've really digressed here, but what I'm saying is, it's kind of what Hideyoshi, it kind of goes with what Hideyoshi said in episode 1 or 2, I think, where, I think it was episode 1, I don't know, but Hideyoshi says that with George, the way he taught George, and the way he thinks of school and education in general, is that education is more than just learning the things, it's about learning how to learn. That was a great thing for Hideyoshi to say there, because it's so true, you know. A lot of the years he spent prior to university, and prior to later on in life too, even after university, what you learn in university is also supposed to help you in later life to teach, to be independent enough to learn things on your own. It's not like, when I'm done studying university, I'm gonna stop learning stuff. I'm gonna be like, alright, cool, I've learned everything I need to know, haha, let's go. Nah, even after that, even when I'm 40, 50, 60 years old, I'm still expected to learn stuff, to learn more things about my career, about my craft, whatever. Learning doesn't stop. Umineko says this itself, right? Umineko says that, you know, never stop thinking. When you stop thinking, you die. You can't stop thinking. As a human, you really can't stop thinking. You have to level up every time. You have to keep it going. There's no chilling until you go to retirement. But at that point, you should have succeeded in life. When you're 70, 80 years old, you go to retirement, you're like, cool, I've lived a great life. You know, I spent those 80 years developing myself and upping myself over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Maybe you even have a family, right? You have children, grandchildren. You lived a W life. And that's the whole point, right? And then maybe when you go to retirement, you can stop thinking. Maybe then you'll go, I can sit back, relax. You know, you worked hard to get that point. Yeah, you worked hard to get to that point where you can just chill for the rest of your life. Cause you know, when you're 80, you don't have that much left to live. You know what I mean? You don't have more. You're unlikely to have more than 20 years left to live, right? When you're 80, so you're like, okay, yeah, I'll just spend my time chilling, making sure I'm as healthy as possible in my time. You know, yeah. But yeah, teach yourself to, you know, it's about discipline. So, yeah. I very much digressed.
推理小説で探偵が犯人が分かったと宣言するシーンがあるでしょ。 あれはつまりそこまでの文章で手がかりは全て記したから。読者諸君、どうぞ推理をしてくださいという合図なのですよ。
へえ、単なるお約束のセリフかと思ってたが、そんな意味があったんだな。
意地悪に言うと、探偵がそう宣言しない限り、どんなにミステリーを愛する推理自慢の読者であっても推理をする気力は生じないということです。
過去のゲームにおけるあなたもそうではありませんでしたか？
Oh. Come to mention it, maybe that really was the case. My fight against Beto began in earnest starting with the second game, I think. It was indeed the second game, you're right. When Beto threw locked room mysteries at me, at first, I didn't seriously try to tackle them. After all, I knew nothing except that people had died in a locked room, and the windows and doors were all locked from the inside. I had basically no hints. So I refused to debate on the grounds that I couldn't fight because the lack of clues made reasoning impossible. After that, Beata sneered at me, didn't she? Asking whether I would repeat that over and over forever in an endless repetition of moves. At that time, Beato said this.
貴様ら無能どもがいつも嘆いてみせる思考停止の理由、情報不足。そしてそれに対し情報を与えると、今度はその情報の真偽を疑う根拠否定。便利よな。無能を棚上げする実に小気味よい言葉よ。
Then she said she'd give me reliable information that couldn't be denied, and created the rule called the Red Truth. Only after Beato had done all that for me did the curtain finally rise on my battle with her.
俺はベアトに、この物語は挑めば解けるという保証をもらって、初めて同じ土俵に上がったというわけか。
ベアトリーチェ、不思議な方です。謎こそが魔女の住まう狭間なのに、自らその謎を暴くことのできる赤き真実をあなたに与え始めたのですね。
You could say that the red truth is a hint Beato gives me so that I'll agree to compete in this war of reasoning. It's a carrot. Being given a hint is like she's saying, go on, try solving it. It is possible. An enigma which is guaranteed to be solvable can't be called a true enigma.
これではまるでベアト自身が自分は本当は魔女じゃないって自分で認めてるようなものじゃないか。
Is that what you think?
おやおや、確かにそうなりますね。本当におかしな子です。
Beato gave no answer. The grey eyes, she did nothing but blankly gaze at the steam rising from her black tea.
我が父は思考する力に杖を与えるために実戒を生み出したのです。決して物事を傲慢に決めつけるためではありません。
思考する力に杖。
そうです。ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。これは手がかりなしに当て推量で推理をしてはいけないという意味だけではありません。
逆に言えば出題者は解決のための手がかりを必ず提示しなければならないということです。
つまり実戒に従うなら全ての謎には必ずヒントがあり、よって必ず解決は可能だと保証されていることになるわけか。
I see. So this is what she meant by a crutch for the power of thinking. If you can believe that it's solvable, you start feeling the desire to have a go at those riddles. If you're capable of believing that hints do exist, you get fired up about rereading the story to search for them. I kinda had that too in episode 4, ironically enough, right? When the question arcs ended, you all told me, Amen, now the entire visual novel is capable of being solved. You've got enough hints now to solve the entire thing by the end of episode 4. And that's when I finally decided, alright, now I'll make a theory video for what's been going on. And I even made a culprit video for who I think was the culprit. And all of that only after I had been told, yo Amin, now you have all the clues you need to solve it. Before that, I never was like, it wasn't... I had gotten the idea to make the theory video, I think all the way back in episode 3. But I never thought, after episode 3 is over, I'll make a theory video. I went until I was done with the question arcs to get all the hints until I did it. So, interestingly enough, you know, and I was also recommended to do that by you guys too. But I do also want to question, is there something wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with not attempting something unless you believe that it is solvable? Is there something inherently wrong with that? Would you say?
確かに推理しようとする人間にとって勇気を与える力はあるかもしれないな。
ノックス実戒はミステリーの出題者に課す制限と思われがちですが、読み手にとっても大切なものなのです。実戒を杖とすることで私たちは推理する勇気と必ず隠されているに違いない手がかりを求めて何度も物語を読み返す気力を授かるのです。
硬くて開かないジャム瓶の蓋みたいだな。母さんがよく言ってたぜ。開かないと思ってるといくら頑張っても開かないって。スポーツにもそういうのあるよな。
True.
必ず自分は成し遂げられるという強いイメージがあるのとないので記録に大きく差が出るというし。
Yeah, it's true. If you wanna be all the top sports athletes, they all need to necessarily believe that they are the best, that they can win, that they can do it. If you don't have that belief, it doesn't matter how good you actually are. You won't get an extra drive, that extra full percentage that leads you to the W. So, in the World Cup, Argentina had that, you know? They had that. Messi brought it, you know? So, yeah. But also, he had that belief that it was possible. He had Argentina had the belief that they could do it, that they could win the World Cup. They never doubted that, and they got it. But I do also believe that France had that thought as well. France really thought, even though France got second place, France also thought that they could win it, that they were confident themselves. I think there's more obviously to France's loss than just them not having the drive to win. I actually do think that they had the drive to win. So I don't think that's necessarily the case. Just because you didn't solve the mystery, you didn't win the World Cup, you didn't do something, doesn't mean you didn't give it your all and you didn't believe you could do it. I could believe that I can solve the mysteries of Umineko all I want, but just because I'm successful and I didn't do it does not mean I didn't believe that I could do it. In that case, the Nox Decalogue isn't really a set of arrogant and strict restrictions. You can also see it as a way to encourage readers who are trying to solve the mystery by telling them to give it all give it their all since it's definitely solvable.
面白い解釈だ。
And it's also a trick from the author to encourage readers to read their story, in turn, you know, making a lot of people read their story, you know, and making their story more popular.
しかし世の中の推理小説すべてが必ず実戒を守ってるわけでもないと聞いたぜ。そういう作品にぶち当たった時騙されたってことにはならないのかよ。
実戒もまた解釈の一つに過ぎず、全てのミステリーに適用できるものではありません。父の原理主義者の方々は実戒を破った作品を異端と呼んで激しく糾弾される方もいらっしゃるようですが、
There's no end of arguments like this in the mystery world. Is this or that famous detective novel a fair mystery? In other words, one that follows the Noxus Ten Commandments? That sort of argument is already an eternal theme of the mystery world. In fact, in mystery discussions, arguments like these sometimes become more heated than talk about the actual solutions.
そりゃ糾弾したくもなるだろうな。実戒に従い解けると信じて挑んで、実は解けるようにできてませんでしたってオチだったらさぞや悔しくて仕方ないだろうぜ。
That's right. In fighting with the Decalogue, there's just one thing you want guaranteed from the beginning. And that is the guarantee that the detective novel will adhere to the Decalogue. If a work labels itself as an orthodox mystery, then you have nothing to worry about. However, the mystery genre contains many unorthodox subgenres within it. Does that mean that trying to use reasoning in an unorthodox detective novel is a complete waste of time?
それはそれで傲慢な気もするな。
はい、私も父の実戒をそのような傲慢の武器にされるのは非常に悲しいことです。
お前は実戒を武器にさっきベアトと戦ったわけだが、それはつまりこのベアトのゲームの世界がノックス実戒にのっとっているという証なのか。
When I asked that, there was a strange silence. Virgilia, Delanor, and of course Beato all remained silent for a while, almost as though my question had touched at the core of something. Oh?
それは私の口からは言えません。
You're saying only Beato can answer that?
どうして？
Only Beato can answer that?
これはこの子の作ったゲームです。あなたと勝敗を決めるためのゲーム。この子はそれをミステリーとファンタジーの対決のように呼んでいました。しかし残念ながら本格推理とは一言も言っていません。すなわち実戒にのっとっているという保証はないということです。
しかし同時にミス・ベアトリーチェはあなたとの勝負のゲームだともおっしゃっています。
Which means that it is possible for Battler to win. You have a guarantee that you can win Battler. In fact, if anything, the only guarantee is that Beato can't win. Beato's the one that has no guarantee of winning. She can either draw or lose. But you have the guarantee that you can win Battler. So...
それはすなわちあなたにも勝利する余地があるということ。
Oh, yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
すなわち推理は可能だってそう言いたいのか。
Well, you can achieve victory. You can... hmm.
この子に言わせればおそらく推理は可能となるのでしょう。
I asked her that question, but she's not answering, so your probability is wrong, Virgilia. She ain't answering.
しかしこの子とバトラ君が送り手と受け手の関係であるように2人は異なる存在です。ベアトにとって推理可能なつもりで出題したものがあなたにとっても推理可能なものなのかは別の問題です。
For example, let's say we pose a simple riddle that any Japanese person would be familiar with. Okay? However, if the person we're telling this riddle to is a foreigner with a Japanese-English dictionary in their hand, it might be almost impossible to solve. In other words, it's possible to have a one-sided solvable problem, which might be easy for the questioner but extremely difficult for the person trying to solve it. By the way, do you know of the foreign riddle? Why do dragons sleep all day? Is it foreign to Japan or what's up? No, I don't know the riddle, no. Why do dragons sleep all day? The answer is because they fight knights. What? I don't get this. It's a riddle from the English realm, so it might be a little tough for a Japanese person. Well, I'm also not part of the English realm. I mean, I'm talking English right now, reading English, but I'm not an English person myself, so that would have been tough for me to solve as well. That's wild.
だからこそ私はこの物語がバトラ君に絶対に解けるものだと約束することができません。しかしこれだけは約束できます。
That you can achieve victory. You can achieve victory. Can you solve it? You can achieve victory.
赤き真実でそれを保証します。
Guarantee it with the red truth?
なんだ。
なんで
ベアとはあなたに解いてほしいと願って、解けるようにこのゲームをこの物語の謎を生み出しました。それだけは私が赤き真実で保証します。
Okay. But if she wanted me to solve it, that means that she wants to lose. She can't win, but she wants to lose. What's up? It was the one guarantee that all those who try to use reasoning desire.
その答えが我が父の実戒にのっとり導き出せるものかは分かりません。しかしバトラが悩み苦しみ推理の指針を求める時にもしも思い出したなら我が実戒も試してみてください。再び挑む勇気とひょっとすると何か新しい発見を与えてくれるかもしれません。
Okay, Delanor, you're kind of helping me out. Okay.
ありがとうよ。
It's ironic that Delanor's decalogue, her father's decalogue, is what caused Batter to lose at the very end there. Quote unquote lose at the end of episode 5.
心底行き詰まったらお前の戦い方も参考にしてみるぜ。いいのかよ。敵に塩を送っちまって。
お気になされずに手土産も持たずに訪れた茶会です。茶会の代わりとなったなら幸いです。それに私と再び相まみえたなら
Yeah.
そんな悠長なことを言っている暇はおそらくないでしょうから。
Nox's decalogue and Virgilia's red truth.
ベアと俺に解いてほしいと願って解けるようにこのゲームの謎を生み出した。
In other words, Beato thinks I can solve it. Isn't that proof that it's possible to apply logic to this? Of course, that's from Beato's point of view, and doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be possible for me to work it out. But she thinks you can work it out. But compared to before now, when I didn't even know whether applying reasoning was possible or impossible, that one sentence might give me a great deal of courage and strength. At least it has the power to silence any negative thoughts about it just being useless anyway.
推理できると先に相手に証明させなくては推理をしない。まるで奥手な若者の恋愛のようですね。
Oh man. Uh.
恋愛？
ええ、自分のことを愛してくれると相手が先に証明しない限り、自分も相手を愛したくないでしょ。
Both boys and girls want to hear someone say I love you to them first without being prompted. Yeah, okay, so why is it that boys are the ones that are pressured to say it first? Just saying, bro, boys are the ones that are first pressured to confess. That's the dream, wow. They don't want to love another person until they're sure that person will love them back, until they're sure it's reciprocated. After all, there's nothing as painful as a one-sided love, and the emotional scars of a love that doesn't work out last a long time. Because they're afraid of that pain, more than anything else, they want assurance that the other person will love them back.
なるほど。推理小説における作家と読者の関係を面白く表現しています。
I love the writer, the reader loves me, let's go. Yes, maybe you could liken detective novels to that. Both the writer and the reader first want the other party to tell them, I will solve it or it can be solved. Until the writer is assured that readers will definitely attempt to solve their story, they don't want to write it. Right, because if nobody's even gonna try, what's the point of making a riddle? You've just wasted your time, it was useless anyway. But from the reader, it's like, if I don't even know if I can solve it, what's the point that I try? Why would I even try to solve it? I see. The same goes for the readers. Until they are sure that they will definitely be able to solve the story if they try, they don't want to read it. Because they don't want to write what they consider a masterpiece and be hurt when no one reads it. Because they don't want to apply logic to what they consider a masterpiece and be hurt when they realize it was all useless.
その理論によると、まさに奥手な小学生中学生の恋愛だな。気があるくせに打ち明ける勇気もなく、相手の告白を待ってもじもじしたまま何の進展もなく、ひと夏が終われ。
Battler, maybe that's what this riddle is all about. Maybe she wrote this riddle for you to realize that she loves you, but she can't just outright say that she loves you. So she wrote this riddle to make you realize that she wrote this riddle to make you realize that she loves you, but she wants you to confess it first. She wants you to tell her that you love her. That might be what's going on.
いやいや、他の男とくっついちまうことだってあるぜ。俺の初恋もそんな感じだったさ。
That's what my first love was like. Oh. 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 Wink, wink. Is it George and Shannon? Wink, wink. That is... I cannot believe... Is Battler's first love really Shannon? I can't imagine that. I mean, what? I mean, he's saying she hooked up with another person, which is George, his cousin. Does Shannon really... So is this entire riddle Shannon trying to have Battler realize that she loves him, but she's too shy to tell Battler that she loves him. She wants assurance that Battler loves her back first. But Battler's right here saying that it was his first love. That's rough, buddy. This really is a riddle between two shy people that can't realize that they love each other. That's wild. Along with these one-sided feelings they can't express, they lament the passage of a summer which will never come again, and the days of their youth end. The writer, who wouldn't write until he gained the support of readers, goes for all eternity without releasing his maiden work. The reader who waited for the writer's rise to fame goes their whole life without knowing the joy of the mystery genre.
バトラ君、その卵が先か鶏が先かという奥手な恋愛はどの段階にまで進んだら相思相愛の関係になるのですか？
それは積み重ねだろうな。まず友達関係から始めてコミュニケーションを増やし、こいつはきっと俺のことが好きで俺もこいつのことが好きだと疑えなくなった段階を2人が共有できたところで、まあ多分自然と恋人関係に進めるんじゃないかと。
Yeah, naturally, but there's gotta be a stage where one person confesses though. You can't just naturally you can't just naturally click. One person has to come out. Even if you're completely sure that the other person loves you back, the other person still hasn't told you that they love you. So there's still a risk. There's still like a point where someone has to go, I love you. Someone has to say it. Someone has to start it. And at least in the society we're at right now, it's usually men that are pressured to do that first. But yeah, usually men confess and then the women will say yes or no. But I mean,
唐突な告白で始まった関係は割と別れることも多いが、実は互いに告白したことがなく気づいたらずっと一緒にいたって連中の方が案外付き合いは長いってのが俺の今日までの印象だ。
And George confessed to Shannon first. He got the courage to do that. But I mean, and Shannon accepted it though. Shannon accepted George's proposal. She accepted the ring, so. But would you say that's a sudden confession? But they were talking to each other for years though, weren't they? Before George went on with it.
つまり互いが相手を信じる信頼関係が生まれたらということですね。
かもな。意外だぜ。ミステリーってのは作家と読者のバトルだと思ってたんだが、実はそうじゃないのか。
ええ、互いが信頼し合った上でしか成立しない愛ある関係なのですよ。
じゃあこいつと俺の関係も殺し合いじゃなくて愛ある関係だっていうのかよ。
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what's been set up for a bit now. This love relationship. Mm-hmm.
意地悪をし合う小学生同士の関係程度にしか見えませんがね。
Wow. We got a bunch of tsunderes up in here. Regula joked at us in a middle-aged woman sort of way. Still, though I'm not expecting friendship or a trusting relationship, I can accept her as a rival. Okay. Beato is fighting at full force, trying to make me acknowledge that she's a witch. And I'm responding to that and going all out, trying to deny that witches exist.
ミス・ベアトが正面から全力であなたにぶつかっているとどうしてあなたは言い切れるのですか？
見てりゃわかるだろ。
あ なたに全力で正面からぶつかっていると彼女が赤き真実で宣言したわけではありません。
Yeah, but she's also never been said in red that Natsuki loves Cross. But you can believe it.
なのにあなたはそれを疑わないわけですか？
Battler's gone past the point where he needs red to believe in something. He learned that from Angie.
赤き真実以外は何も信じないとおっしゃったあなたがです。
Exactly! Now, you know, you're literally referencing the scene I'm talking about. When Angie had to use the red to talk to Battler. Right? Battler said he wouldn't believe anything except the red, but then Angie was like, "Shut up, Baka brother! I'm your sister. Hello." And I think that's when Battler went past the point of, nah, he can't believe in something that isn't said in red. I think Battler's capable of that now. No? Come on, Battler. Don't go back on that now.
バトラ君の言うところのコミュニケーションが増え、互いの関係が疑えなくなった段階というものに違いないですね。
Virgilia and Lanor giggle together. One guy, multiple women. The topic is love. Yikes. Wait a sec. Isn't this the worst formation for getting made fun of? Yikes, bro. I tried a couple of times to change the subject and clumsily brought up more refined topics in an attempt to return the mood to something more suitable for a tea party in the rainy golden land. But each time, Virgil saw right through me and laughed at me. Come on, Virgilia, do me better than this. Even amidst this, Beato kept looking downwards with those grey eyes, staring into her black tea. Yeah, that's right. Virgilia and Lanor gave me so many hints back then. And yet, I barely thought about them at all. I remember Beato was the one that allowed them in there, in the Golden Land. It's way too late now, but Beato was the one that allowed them in there to the Golden Land to give you those hints. Was there a reason for that? Let me think! Revive. He's like, Battle's back. This is like... okay, man, I don't want to spoil One Piece though. I don't want to spoil One Piece, but you know, it's when... Okay, how do I say it? You know what I mean? It's like when Nika awakened. Alright, that's not a spoiler then. If I just say Nika when Nika awakened, heartbeat comes up. And the drums of liberation start playing. Boom, 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 boom. And he wakes up. He's back. You know what I mean? He's back. He's back for the fight. Everyone thought he was dead. The heart stopped beating. And I was like, he's dead. And then the drums played. The heart beat like drums. And you heard the music from the heart. Boom, 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 boom. That was epic. Anyway, before I risk too much in spoiling One Piece, because this is recent stuff. This happened relatively recently. Well, a year ago recently. Less than a year ago recently. That's how recent it is. So, yeah. Still one of my favorite moments in all of One Piece. So, for sure. Let me think. Come back to us. Now that it's too late to change anything and I have an endless amount of time on my hands. Let me think. One! What a soundtrack. What an OST name. Just one. One more time. Okay, Daft Punk? One more time. Okay, let me think about the red truth Virgilia gave me. And the crutch called the Decalogue that Lanor lent me. With the red truth, Virgilia guaranteed that at the very least, Beato left enough room in this tale for me to achieve victory. That red truth guarantee will give me the power to start my heart beating once again. Let's go! Let's go, it's Nika Awakening, yo! Dude, this inspired the Nika Awakening in One Piece, because that happened recently. Okay, let's go! I'm sure. And there's the crutch of the Decalogue, which Lanor lent me. Even she began by warning me that the Decalogue isn't so almighty that it can solve all riddles. But even so, she kind of described it as a method to solve, no, to take on riddles. Let me try. Even though there's no guarantee whether this tale is mystery or fantasy. Let me believe that I'll definitely be able to solve it. That it is a solvable tale. A mystery. And let me make one last attempt. When I came to, I was suddenly in that strange tea room where I had often argued fiercely with Beata across a table. Of course, Beata was nowhere to be found. It was just me, isolated and alone. That's alright. Even so, I won't stop thinking. Okay then. What were Nox's commandments again? I'm sure Dlanor explained most of them when slamming me with them. Of course, even I recall them vaguely. What was the first one again?
謹んで申し上げる。ノックス第一条。犯人は物語当初の登場人物以外を禁ず。
When I muttered about what the first one was, Dlanor's subordinate appeared, as if in answer to my question. Without bothering with an unnecessary hello, she told me nothing more or less than what I wanted to know.
そうだったな。第一条。犯人は物語の最初から登場している人物でなければならない。
Does that mean that by the end of the first game, the culprit must have appeared already? True, that is the most basic of basics in the mystery genre. A given. A given? Have I really kept that as a basic assumption? With each new game, the number of people in this tale keeps increasing. That violates the closed circle rule. From that moment onwards, everything is screwed up. Did I give up on the inside, thinking that the true culprit or mastermind must not have shown up yet, and that reasoning was therefore useless? If I read this tale as a fantasy, new characters keep showing up to the point where even having demon kings or gods or divine creators appear wouldn't be strange at all. Even if the true mastermind first appeared in one of the last episodes, I just accept it as that kind of story. However, if I read it as a mystery and stick with that conviction, then there's no need to worry at all about anyone who shows up later. Because Noxus first clearly rules them out, stating that it's impossible for the culprit to be anyone who appears later on in the story. Of course, there's also what both Dlanor and Virgilia said. There's no guarantee that this tale follows the rules of the Decalogue. So of course, I can't deny the possibility that the culprit first appeared in the second game or later. But remember, Battler. Beato invited Dlanor and Virgilia in there to talk about all of that. She did that on purpose. Right? She allowed that discussion to happen on purpose. Remember that, Battler. You don't have a guarantee, but you can believe. You can believe without a guarantee. Without the right truth. You can believe that there's a reason Beato did that. And that reason might be because she wanted you to follow the Decalogue. At least for this possibility. However, this is one way of thinking. This time, I'll forget about the Devil's Proof completely and try to borrow the power of the Decalogue in my thinking. After all, I know by now that I'll never be able to reach the truth without looking from multiple perspectives.
なら何度も繰り返されたこのゲームの犯人は全て18人の中の誰かだってことになる。 19人目の幻想なんて初めから必要ない。
Even the first of Nox's commandments denies the existence of an unknown person known as the Witch from the very start. If I had followed that in the truest sense, I might not have suffered so miserably in the second game.
ノックスの第2条。
謹んで申し上げたてまつる。ノックス第2条。探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。
The other subordinate appeared without a sound and gave me an answer to my question. That's right. A detective can't go around using magic.
そしてこれがフェアな戦いであるならば、探偵と同様に犯人もまた魔法を使ってはならないということだよな。
謹んで申し上げる。解釈は自由と知りたまえ。
だよな。ああ、俺の自由に解釈させてもらうぜ。
If this game is a fair battle between me and Beato, then because this tale is solvable, it features no elements which are impossible to explain with logic. F-Style? Great soundtrack. A great OST. In other words, magic must not exist. When it does appear, I shouldn't suspect that the mystery element is breaking down, but I should instead question why it was shown and suspected witnesses and observers. That's right, that was Beato's greatest weapon in the second game. Depictions of magic that have no place in a mystery. By showing me that, she forced me to think that this tale wasn't a mystery, and therefore that reasoning was impossible, and I surrendered. However, if I had believed unshakably that it was a mystery, it would have been completely obvious to doubt the witnesses who claimed to have seen those things. Also, at the end of the first game, it was revealed that this tale had been passed on to people in the future by means of a message bottle. Someone wrote down the incident in the form of a story. In other words, this entire story is a world which includes the personal opinions of an observer, namely, the person who wrote that message in a bottle. Maria? Or implying that someone else wrote that message in a bottle and someone else left it out adrift. In other words, the observer isn't God. It's a human. Therefore, there's no guarantee that the descriptions are truly impartial. Right! That's an assumption I made when making the theory video too, that the descriptions aren't impartial, that the descriptions could be biased. I made that assumption at the end of the first game. You're saying we're following the world of whoever made that message in a bottle? Whoever sent out that bottle with the tale of the story? You're saying that whoever the culprit is also the person that sent out that bottle? It's the same person? And if it is Shannon, you're saying that Shannon went about killing people, wrote down the tale, and then sent it out for people in the outside world to know about it? Then yes, it can't be impartial. It can't be the view of God or, this outside impartial viewer. Which means the narrative can be skewed a bit. It means that what we see, what we read in the special bottle, the different interpretations that are described, they don't have to be the truth. They just have to be this person's interpretations of the truth. By the end of the first game, It had already been made clear that the text violated the constant premise of mystery stories, that they must be told from a god's eye view. Since the very first game this has been really told. For that reason, it's possible to doubt not just the witnesses, but the observer as well. And that's something I did in my theory video, that the observer, that the narration could be lying to me. Could be lying to me when it said that these people walked into this room or this person did that. I have to doubt it. I have to choose when to believe it or when to be like, why would the observer tell me this? If I could have doubted this much, then no matter how seemingly unsolvable displays of magic appeared, I wouldn't have to blindly accept them and give up. However, that raises the question, is it even possible to solve a story written by an observer who isn't impartial? All reasoning ends here if you get obsessed with this. That's why it's so important for me to believe that it is possible, that Beto is trying to fight me through this tale. Because it's a fight. That means I've been given a chance of winning. And the fact that I've been given that must mean that reasoning is possible. This part is the hardest. Unless I believe that the cruel witch took on the risk of losing to try and have a fair fight with me, I can't get past this part. Virgilia's right. It's just like love. If I can't believe that Beto is fighting me head on with everything she's got, I won't be able to reason any further than this. Alright, I'll admit it. Unless I admit that we're in love, I won't be able to get any further. When Virgilia ran out of patience with the two of us, shy and incapable as we were of admitting that out loud, she gave me that red truth instead. That was the red truth saying, Beato wanted me to solve the riddles of this game, so she created them to be solvable. What the hell is that? It's like Sato's-san in Class A says he likes you. Like hearing a love confession via a friend. I really am pitiful. Reasoning is love. If you don't love each other, the logic won't open up. In that case, why can't we just say that we love each other? If you think you can solve it, just you try. You're incompetent. Like hell you can solve it. Yeah, according to George Aniki, you call that sort of thing tsundora. That brutal witch is finally starting to look a bit cute. If I meet her again, I wanna try saying, "You're such a tsundora." If I meet her again, somewhere. You better keep up the promise, Battler, that you're gonna call her tsundora. A tsundere.
他の実家も教えてくれ。純不動でいいぜ。使えそうなやつ。
謹んで申し上げる。ノックス第8条。提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。
謹んで申し上げる。ノックス第6条。探偵方法に偶然と第6巻の使用を禁ず。
It must not be solved with clues that aren't presented, and it must not be solved by luck. If this tale is made to be solvable, then we can read this the opposite way. In other words, clues must have been prepared so that the tale can be solved, and it has to have been made in a way that it can be solved without relying on luck. If I can believe strongly that Beato is challenging me to a fair game where reasoning is possible, I can be sure of that. That must mean that Beato has already concealed clues, hints, and messages within the tale so far. It isn't from the Decalogue, but Erica or someone said this. There are 3 riddles to be exposed in a mystery. The who done it, the how done it, and the why done it. One is the who done it. Who is the culprit? One is the how done it. How did they commit the crime? One is the why done it. Why did they commit the crime? All of this means that clues related to these 3 riddles are already present inside this tale. No, strictly speaking, it's like this. Beato scattered hints about because she wanted me to solve those 3 riddles. Though whether I'm capable of catching those hints or not is another matter. Even if you pose a riddle thinking it's easy, it might be difficult for the person trying to solve it. Therefore, it's only natural for there to be a difference in how difficult each person thinks it is. That's why, as Beato went through each successive game, she watched me closely and tweaked the game as needed to get a good arrangement. You're seeing that as the game progresses, she tweaked the game so that it would be easier for Battler to solve. Not for me to solve, me Amin, but for Battler. So we really gonna have to go within Battler's thought process to see how Battler would think about how easy the game is solvable. Right? We gotta start thinking like Battler. Small bombs, everybody. They ate small bombs that exploded in their stomachs. We gotta start thinking like that if you wanna win. I see. We gotta start thinking like Battler. I see. Because Beato must have tweaked the game. After episode 2, she's like, okay, I tweak it solvable, let's tweak it so that Battler can solve it. Episode 3, okay, let's tweak the game a little bit so that Battler can find it solvable. Episode 4. And now episode 5. I mean, episode 5 she's not the game master anymore, so maybe not episode 5, but definitely episode 4. When Beato realized that I completely surrendered in the second game because it was too hard, she secretly worried. She was tsundere? If I surrendered and lost the will to fight, the game would no longer remain on an even footing. Therefore, in order to make me regain my will to fight, from the 3rd game onwards, she set things up in a way that made it easier for me, giving me tips on how to fight and a few hints. And to be fair, the 3rd game was extremely easy compared to the second game. The 3rd game was a lot more easy to solve compared to the second game. Because the 3rd game was very in your face. Eva teacher did this, Eva teacher did that. You could, for the most part, translate it to Eva did this, Eva did that. You know what I mean? Eva killed these people. Even at the very end, it showed us that Eva was the one that killed Battler, shot Battler. So, the 3rd game wasn't being very secretive regarding how things was going on, compared to the 2nd game where you can question a lot more, like the fake canon that appeared and the goats and all that stuff, the chapel and the humiliation at the very end. Although episode 3 did have that extremely hard riddle at the very end with what happened with Nanjo. The appearance of Virgil in one of it was obviously so that they could help me. Right, and eventually the appearance of Gob as well, the Chiesta sisters. Also, though we still had the usual crazy magic shows, she gave me the metaphor of the brown tube trial, as well as tips on how to fight back. I finally understood how to fight, and at the end of the 4th game, Beato managed to have the all-out showdown with me that she had probably wanted most of all. Then, Beato acknowledged that my abilities had become full-fledged, and entrusted me with her heart. Entrusted me with explaining this tale, didn't she? In that case, it was really dumb of me to boycott most of the 5th game, just because I was so disgusted with those 2 witches. It doesn't matter who the game master is. All I need is to search for the truth in Beato's game. On the contrary, I should probably thank those 2 witches just a little for continuing the game in Beato's place now that she's gone and left everything to me. Of course, I doubt those evil witches were trying to do anything of the sort. Culprit, crime, motive, the answers, the hints to those 3 ultimate riddles must be scattered throughout the tales shown so far. One thing I noticed with all these Unhuman parties is there are a lot for me to read as the reader. Episode 4 was... Bro, episode 4? I spent legit an hour and a half just reading. I really tired me out. An hour and a half of just reading out loud. Battler went here, found this corpse. This corpse was like this and that. The description of the corpses. Holy crap, episode 4 was wild, the Unhuman Party. But even now, episode 5 Unhuman Party, a lot of reading. It's probably a very faint light, like trying to find beads that have fallen onto a sandy beach. They're definitely there. However, they're so faint that unless I believe strongly, there's no way I'll be able to find them.
金家慎んで申し上げる。
なんだ。
物語を遡りたまえ。今の汝には真実のか弱き光を見逃さぬ目が与えられていると知れ。
今こそ物語。
If you turn back time to the tale.
推理可能とは信頼関係の先にあるものと知り立てまつれ。
ああ、知ってるぜ。いや、今ようやく気づいたかもしれない。
It's something that has been repeated over and over again throughout the tale. Persistently so.
愛がなければ真実は見えない。
He said the line, everybody! He said the line! Slowly, the tea room dissolved into darkness. Then, as though I was slowly sinking into a pitch black sea, I passed through the cracks of the long journey I'd taken with Beato, and kept on falling and falling. Kingdom Hearts style? It was a bizarre experience, like crossing over the boundary of sleep while still conscious. The several tales that had come before became faint bubbles. No, perhaps small shiny fragments that were scattered like stars in a pitch black sky. I kept sinking on and on into that sea. I can't read these fast enough. I've seen different scenes from the visual novel. Did you get anything from that? The tales up until now, one after another. Virgilius guided Dante to Mount Purgatory and led him to Beatrice, the eternal lady who waited at the top. Therefore, the innermost depths lay not at the bottom, but at the peak of Mount Purgatory. The eternal lady had been waiting there for Dante the whole time. And then I knew. And then I knew. Know what? Knew what? You solved it? You solved things, Battler? Did you do it? You solved it? That's not Beato's portrait anymore, it's Erika's portrait now. I finally reached the truth. In the depths. No. At the peak of Mount Purgatory. Promise? New OST. Idiot. You really are an idiot. He woke from the sleep of death. Yo, this just singing. She's singing. It's not just an OST, it's a whole song. He woke from the sleep of death, and bit by bit, his sense of pain came back to him. As Battler hung there pierced by the longsword, his head still tilted towards the heavens, life gradually returned to his face through an expression of suffering.
本当にバカだ。バカだ。
You really are a huge idiot, huh? Battler noticed. The whole time, Battler been snuggling up against him, sleeping. He held her. He found it was not Beato, but her crumbling remains. And because her form was as fragile as ash, when Battler tried to hold it, just like a sandcastle made on a beach, being washed away by a small wave, it fell apart and lost its form. At Battler's feet lay nothing but the ragged remnants of Beato's dress and a pile of ash. No, on top of that pile of ash, he could see something sparkling gold. It was the husk of a single gold butterfly which had been torn to bits. And so, Battler knew I did reach the truth. But I wasn't able to do it, while Beato still remained in this world. End of the Golden Witch.
ベアト、お前本当にバカだろ。俺はようやくこのふざけた謎の真相にたどり着いたんだぞ。お前のお望み通りにくじけずにとうとう最後までたどり着いたのに。なのにそれを待てずにくじけちまったんだよ。お前はあんなにも信じてたんだろう。俺が絶対に真実に至ってくれるって。ならどうしてそれを俺と一緒に信じて待てなかったんだよ。永遠の拷問を強いていたのはお前じゃない。俺だ。俺がお前に過酷な拷問を強いた。そしてお前は最後まで抗い、俺に訴え続け、そして俺はよく今になってたどり着いたってのに。お前はもう待ってなくて手遅れになっちまったって。 バカ野郎。うっせえ、お前が先にくじけちまうんだよ。終わりのこばれた日々を終わりにするから雨の日も晴れの日もいつの日も
It's my fault. I forced her to endure this torture. In fact, I'm amazed she endured for so long. She kept on appealing to me over and over and over again. And because I was so incompetent, I couldn't even begin to understand the truth. A scream of pain filled this cathedral of sorrow. Cathedral sorrow? No longer the court of illusions, it's a cathedral of sorrow now. The sad witch who wasn't able to let Battler know of the truth. The sad man who wasn't able to understand the witch's truth. Battler howled in anger and sadness for both of them. The clock hung in the cathedral showed that it was midnight on October 5th, 1986. Time was up for everything. If you're going to create a riddle as hard as this and be so proud of it, don't go and set a goddamn time limit on it. He prayed for and bet on the power of a miracle. One so unlikely that it was totally impossible. Less likely than finding a bead you've dropped on a sandy beach. Isn't Burnt Castle the witch of miracles or the witch that knows that miracles don't exist? Yeah? Move back to Higurashi, Rika, miracles? Yeah? It's all part of this whole plot, bro. And because you did, I have now arrived at that miracle. But your time didn't last long enough. If I had reached this point even a little sooner, if I could have seen the truth, even if it had been right before the time was up, I might have been able to save you. Hey man, without love it can't be seen, I guess. You can reach a truth of love until now. But now, I've been run through pathetically, and I can't even hold what remains of you. I struggled, attempting to pull the longsword out, or at least touch your remains by stretching out my arms, but neither worked. At that time, I noticed a golden glint on the palm of my hand. It was a single wing from a gold butterfly. That small fragment of gold was the only piece of Beato that I was permitted to touch. I cried with all my strength, gripped that fragment, and pressed it against my head, apologizing. Why couldn't I reach the truth earlier? Then I pressed it to my chest, promising that even though things had come to this, I would never again lose the truth. Another promise that you're not gonna keep, Battler? Promises I can't keep. Alright, my Shinoda back in here? I feel like I've referenced my that many times throughout this visual novel, and that song specifically. When I pressed my hand against my chest, the sword piercing my chest cut my wrist, and blood dribbled out. That blood spread throughout my fist, and it must have soaked that gold fragment with my red blood. It must have been the only way of telling her that I found the truth she had wanted to tell me. I clutched the wing of the gold butterfly with my freshly bleeding hand and pressed it against the red sword that impaled me. In this moment, Ishuruma Battler knew and understood. He had arrived at the entirety of this tale. At that moment, it seemed as though a faint golden light leaked out of the gaps in his clenched fist. The two witches had their backs turned, and Eric was laughing at Battler's corpse.
本当に無様ですね、バトラさん。あなたの愚かさを石像にして永遠に。
Why isn't further Erika's name in katakana now? Isn't she a witch now? Shouldn't her name be in katakana? Justice, OST, okay. Justice. Just then, Battler's chest. No. The red longsword impaling Battler began to shine gold from deep within his chest. That bright golden light began to change the red sword's color, turning it gold.
何事？バトラがこれは何？
It's called going Super Saiyan. It's gold. The Super Saiyan hair color is gold after all. Battler coughed up blood and groaned. His consciousness came back. His will to live, his will to fight, came back. The red longsword impaling Battler could no longer be described as such. By now, it had become a golden longsword. Then, slowly, it pulled itself out of Battler's chest. Boom, 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 boom! After it had finally pulled itself out of Battler completely, it flipped through the air and stuck upright into the ground in front of Battler's eyes, as though it knew who its master was. Hey! I'm your master now! Battler, crawling on the floor and moaning, grabbed the golden longsword, and though it looked painful, he slowly rose to his feet once again.
手の込んだ演出ね。これラムダの隠し玉。その輝きってまさか。
Masaka! Lambda stared wide-eyed at that bright golden glow in awe. Noticing that Battler's resurrection wasn't part of the script Lambda had thought up, Byrne also frowned slightly.
悪いわね。最新は却下よ。シエスタ姉妹、その復活幻想を削除しなさい。了解であります。45、410、発砲許可。
Oh, here comes your Greek again. Your Greek.
それが照準不能。IFF エラーコード999。
IFF error code QQQ? Nya nya nya.
ヒュー。
ヒューヒュー
39だ。バカな。
バカな The Chester sisters hesitated, unable to carry out Burnt Castle's orders.
ラムダ、これはどういう茶番よ。完全に魔女幻想は打ち破られて、法廷は私の勝利に終わったはずよ。
悪いわねベル。もう少し付き合ってもらうわ。そうでしょ、後ろ宮バトラー。
ああ、任せたなエリカ。ベルに勝つて今度は俺の真実の番だぜ。
最新請求を受理するわ。魔女集会の幻想法廷の閉廷は撤回される。
What? You can do that? I mean, Lambda, that's just the game master. Okay, we're back for a retrial. Is this really the Unhuman part yet? No, it can't be, because it's supposed to be 2 hours long, so it can't be where this ends.
異議提出。すでに裁判は決審し、判決は公示されている。
異議却下。いかなる判決も新たな真実の前にはかすむ。
Hey, hey!
異議提出。バトラはプレイヤーを追放されただけでなく、魔女の地位を持たない。
Okay, she does though.
上告する資格を持たない。
But Lambda can.
異議却下。もうね、あるのよ彼に。
Wait, what? I'm a witch now? That's why this is an Unhuman party.
絶対の魔女ラムダデルタの名において認めるわ。
What?
後ろ宮バトラ
I'm a witch?
ー、あなたを新たな
What?
いえ、無限の魔術師
Oh!
バトラと認めるわ。
The endless sorcerer? That's me? Let's go! That's why I was like, okay, how are we gonna have a human be in the Unhuman party? That just doesn't seem to work. But every time Umineko blows me away, it's like, alright, here you go. Battlers now, not necessarily human. In episode 3, I remember, like, okay, how Eva and Angie are both humans. No, Eva's Eva teacher, not Unhuman, and Angie became the final Beato, Angie Beatrice, so not a human either. Meaning, this episode Unhuman Party follows through with the rule that we're here with Unhumans. Battlers now Unhuman. The new Endless Sorcerer.
なんですって。バトラが魔女の位を。
That's right, witch status now. I'm witch status. We're the same rank now, Erica. What's up? We both evolved from being humans, that's what's up. The rank of a witch, which she had desired for so long, had been granted to battlers so quickly. And on top of that, this wasn't anything temporary. This was an official, proper authorization by Lambda Delta. I'm even levels above you. Erica couldn't accept it, and her face turned bright red. Burnt Castle, your piece remains pathetic.
最後の最後まで楽しませてくれるわ。このゲームは。いいわ。付き合ってあげる。エリカ、受けて立ちなさい。あなたが私と築き上げた赤き真実は完璧よ。夏日が犯人であるとする真実の構築は完璧だわ。絶対にバトラには崩せない。無論です、我が主。何の心配もありません。それよりシエスタ姉妹、我が主は射殺を命じていますよ。いつになったら命令は実行されるんですか？
エラーコード39。
39?
量子照準には解除コードが必要です。だからあいつはやると言ったに。
領主？誰が？
Territory Lord?
このかけらの支配者は誰？
Isn't it you? Didn't Burn give you the control?
私です。
Right.
まさかバトラが。
Oh, I took over?
はい、後宮バトラー。この方は正当な領主と認定されているであります。
I took over! Lamau!
そうよ。まだわからないの？あの黄金の輝きの意味が。バトラーはね、至ったのよ。
I'm the peak.
すべての真実の最新王にね。
Yeah. I'm at the peak of Mount Purgatory. That's what's up. Which means my truth should be stronger than Erika's truth. Which means that the red truth that was perfect according to Erika isn't necessarily so.
だからバトラーは今やこの世界の物語のゲームのすべてを理解している。それはつまりゲームの支配者の地位を得たということよ。それを信じたくないでしょ、ベル。
What do you think, Bern?
信じたくもない。いいわ、バトラが本当に全てを理解したのか試してあげるわ。
That's what's up.
エリカ、
You know this is a losing battle, right? You saw the golden glow. You're losing this. I've gotten the W.
残念ね、エリカ。せっかくこのかけらの領主に任命されたところだけれど、それを剥奪するわ。
Gaining it just to miss it. Not even didn't even give you a second to bask in the glory. You're immediately getting stripped of all your titles. That's tough. Your name doesn't even deserve to be in katakana. That's how rough it is, Erika. That's tough.
このかけらの新しい領主は後宮バトラよ。悔しい。ねえねえ、悔しい。せっかく領主になれたのにいきなり剥奪ってどんな気持ち？どんな気持ち？
She had been waiting so long. Her name was supposed to be in katakana, but even her name didn't get katakana. That's wild. You really hate me, don't ya?
私の推理を否定できるものならしてみればいいでしょ。そんなことは不可能。不可。不可。
Mhm.
不可。
Uh huh.
不可。
Uh huh.
不可。
Mhm.
不可。
I'm listening. Uh huh. Huka. Huka.
私の構築した推理に隙はありません。夏日が犯人であることは否定不能。
So here's the thing, Erika. I'm gonna use your own argument against you. Say that in red, baby. Say that in red, baby. That's what's up. Say in red that it's impossible to rule out Nazi as the culprit. Say it in red. That's right, you can't. That's right, you can't. That means they're all holes to your theory.
俺は夏日おばさん以外が犯人である推理を構築できる。
Oh! That red truth is crazy.
確かにお前の真実は否定不能かもしれない。ならば同時にお前の真実も俺の新しい真実も否定できない。
Yep. If your truth is impossible to disprove, then you can't deny my truth. That's right. Only truth that is possible to disprove can deny my truth. Battler spoke with the red truth, allowed him by his status as a sorcerer. That's right! Sorcerer status! That's a sup!
夏日以外が犯人で
In red.
どうやって。ドラノール、バトラさんの妄言に付き合ってあげてください。
Slowly, Blano stepped forwards. Okay, tomorrow, OST. This sounds new as well. In her hand was the red longsword of the Decalogue. She also had a blue shortsword. In Battler's hand was the golden longsword. The two rivals once again, no, for the first time, they truly confronted each other.
バトラー、待っていました。
待たせたな。
いいえ、あなたの帰りは私の予想より早かったです。
Oh yeah, but you did anticipate it, yeah? Alright.
殺しなさいトラノール A ノックス
Blano's form disappeared in an instant, as though her slow, dignified movements from before were only a lie. The trail drawn by the longsword of Red Truth burned itself into the retinas of those who saw it. Before anyone had enough time to follow that trail, it was already approaching Battler's chest.
エリカ教の推理による第5のゲームは解決しました。この推理による真実を覆す新事実は存在しません。
Lady Rekusvich has solved the fifth game. There's no new fact exists to return this logically derived truth. Cut with the golden sword.
他の解釈、異なる真実の提示が可能だ。異なる真実の並列により、両者の心眼を問う。
This is true. Brown troops. Battler remembers the brown troops. In this closed-off world, it's possible for differing truths to exist at the same time. Furthermore, as long as multiple truths exist, it's impossible to claim that any of the truths are the single truth. In other words, even if I can't overturn Erica's reasoning by questioning its credibility and conquering it, I can defeat it.
ベルンの推理は完璧よ。簡単には覆せない。でもね、ベルンの推理と互角の推理を提示できたなら、戦いは氷結となる。すなわち、いずれかの真実は打ち破られて否定されることがあり得る。
笑わせる脚本だわ悪魔の脚本はやはりこうでなくっちゃ
But Lambda didn't write this though.
では問いましょう。夏日以外の誰が犯人という仮説です。
Battler's golden longsword drew both red and blue trails at will. I can do both with one sword.
夏日おばさんの告白した19年前の赤ん坊による復讐で構築可能だ。
ノックス第1条。犯人は物語当初の登場人物以外は禁ず。
Okay.
第5のゲームより登場した人物に犯人は名乗れません。
その19年前の赤ん坊は最初から俺たちの中にいるとしたら、例えばそれが俺だとしたら、
Ho ho!
ノックス第8条。提示されない手がかりでの解決は禁ず。あなたが19年前の赤ん坊であることを示す伏線はあったの？
There was, wasn't there? There was, with the whole awesome stuff.
第4のゲーム
Yep,
俺が母親アスムの息子でないとする。
there was. That's crazy.
第1のゲームおよび今回のゲームにおける
Yes,
親父の隠し事の気配。
I remember that in the first game. Rudolph was like, "I'm gonna tell you guys something later," and Rudolph was even like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna die tonight." Rudolph knew that in the first game. So this has been hinted at since the very beginning. You cannot tell me no Nox 8th.
俺の生まれに何か事情があることをはっきり明示している。
Batter proposed that he might be the baby from 19 years ago and announced that he would reconstruct the crime with himself as the culprit. As Delano cautiously held her sword at the ready, she gauged the distance between them. Now that Batter had inherited the position of this world's territory lord and even attained the rank of endless sorcerer, his movements surpassed human understanding. By now, the physical distance between them probably counted for nothing, because their extremely agile battle was surpassing the point where the concept of distance made any difference. Down! Next level.
まずは見事です。バトラー犯人説、お聞かせ願いましょう。
ああ、聞かせてやる。それでも説明がつくこと。夏日おばさんが犯人だと決めつけることはできない。
That's cool. That was cool.
グッと。あなたが犯人というならいくつもの矛盾が生じます。その矛盾があなたのか弱い真実を刈り取る。
Alright.
この私、探偵にして真実の魔女フルドエリカが。
Now your name is in katakana. That took a while. Although it was said at the very beginning as well that it was in katakana as well, but now it's more katakana. This time, Erika stepped forward. In her hand, there appeared a scythe like one a Grim Reaper might hold. What? Now she's got a scythe? Okay, everybody's just getting weapons now. Cool, magic weapons. A ruthless scythe for reaping everything that threatened her theory. This is cool. I like this. I like this frame. The amount of effects and special sounds is insane. It's like we're watching Indian drama, a Bollywood drama. It is impossible for the crime to have committed in the cousin's room between 1 AM and the time of the crime's discovery. It could have been committed outside the cousin's room then, right? Or Batter could have killed them during the crime's discovery. Because Bat was the one that discovered the crime, quote unquote, right? Yeah, could have still been done outside the room. That's also true. You know, those were my 2 points. Could have been done outside the room, and the battler killed them. Right? Battler killed them, and then everyone else discovered the bodies. And if Battler's the culprit, all the more so. Because you're the first to discover. Battler used a blue flash to deflect both of the red truths that Eric and Delano had flung at him. Erica's eyes went wide. After all, what he had said was completely absurd. At that time, they still hadn't been killed? Even though corpses were lying there with their necks sliced open?
いとこ部屋の4人の死亡は赤き真実で宣告されている。魔女伝送のつもり？あの時点で死んでいたジョージたちを魔法概念で蘇らせたつもり？
Their deaths have been declared, so what? Battler killed them.
なるほど。あの時点で死んでたと信じるお前にとっちゃ死者が蘇らされるみたいに見えるだろうな。ならこれはお前にとって魔法になるだろうぜ。お前に一矢報いるのは俺じゃない。
おお。
ほざて、何度でも繰り返します。いとこ部屋の4人の死亡は赤き真実で宣告されている。そしてその遺体は大勢が確認しています。そして全ての死体は天使を誤らないとすでに赤き真実で宣言済みです。
It's already been declared with the red truth that no examination of any corpse is ever mistaken.
これでも食らいやがれ、死者どもめ。
The amount of effects. Ronobe coming in.
その赤き真実が何時の時点でのものかお忘れですか、お嬢さん。
Dream and Destroyer, you know. Ronobe with the assist. The fierce shower of Fred was blocked by a magical barrier set up by Ronobe, who suddenly appeared right in front of Battler. I never thought me and Ronobe would be working together, man. He goes from making me tea and cookies while arguing with Beto to assisting me out here. Ronobe, the go! Look at him! Look at him! He's fighting back! Yeah! Now that Beto is gone, the demons shouldn't have been able to manifest themselves in the real world. However, he existed here and calmly dealt with Erika's attack.
どうやってここに？まあいいです。好都合です。探す手間が省けました。この場で捕らえて、あんたも存在否定してあげます。
譲るぜ。一つの傲慢なる真実で全てを支配などできないことを教えてやれ。
Yes, Your Majesty.
I'm His Majesty. Hey, yo, y'all. I'm a king now. I'm the endless sorcerer now. Ronobe works for me.
では、少しお相手しましょう。どうぞ、お嬢さん。
なら、あの赤き真実の死亡宣告は何時の時点でのものだというのですか？それがあんたには特定できるって言うんですか？特定できない以上、事件発覚の時点での死亡宣告であることを否定はできません。
You can't disprove it? That's wild. You're saying that's a devil's proof?
この法廷が改定したとき、ラムダデルタ卿は宣言しておりますよ。24時を迎えての答え合わせ。死亡宣告は2日目24時、すなわちゲーム終了時点のものです。そしてそれは事件発覚後と呼ばれる2日目朝以降の殺人を否定するものではありません。
The amount of effects, I can't believe it.
ではあの時点で犠牲者は生きていたと。
They really went all in, huh?
首がばっくりと裂かれているのに。
それを探偵殿はご覧になられましたか。確かに全ての死体は誰であっても検視を誤ることはないと言っておりますが。
I see what he's saying now, and it's part of my argument as well. Erika never really focused on the corpses. She never really examined them. And she never examined Hideyoshi's corpse, and she never examined Genji's corpse. Yes, they all died before midnight of the second day, but what if they weren't dead at the time that they were said to have been dead? Yes, Erika said in red that their corpses were discovered by a lot of people, but it doesn't mean that they were corpses by the time they were discovered. What does that imply? It implies that there's a chance that they weren't dead at the time, and people lied about it. It implies that Hideyoshi wasn't really dead and Eva lied about it. Hideyoshi must have acted like he died because that was the only way that was possible. According to the Red Truth, Hideyoshi acted like he died. Eva acted like Hideyoshi died. Everyone else who came in acted like they died. Erika never examined Hideyoshi's body. She just went around to check the windows and stuff, to make sure that nobody escaped, to make sure it was a locked room. But because she was so preoccupied to check if it was a locked room or not, she never actually examined if they died or not.
死体と言っていけないとは言われておりますよ。
Erika swung her scythe recklessly, but one of it blocked everything with elegant gestures made with the shield on one of his hands.
じゃああの時点では誰も死んでない？まさか首に傷さえない？だってじゃあどうしてバトラは悲鳴を上げたんです？
足元がお留守だわ、お嬢ちゃん。すべてのゲーム開始時、後ろ宮金蔵は死んでいる。
Never leave your feet unprotected, little girl. Alright, let's check out what that means in the tips file. Grimoire. Feet unprotected. This is a reference to a line in Dragon Ball? Wait, in Dragon Ball? I don't remember this reference. This is a reference to a line in Dragon Ball that achieved meme status in Japanese, spoken by Kami Hiro Shen in a fight against Yamcha. When was this? As a big Dragon Ball fan, I don't know this meme. Actually, I like how they describe it as meme status. Kami Hiro Shen? I remember, because I remember that they fought, yeah, this guy and Yamcha fought in Dragon Ball. And that achieved meme status? It does not achieve meme status in the West, at least. Meme. Never leave your feet unprotected. Okay, god damn it. God damn it, I keep... Okay, I said never leave your feet unprotected. I got a bunch of use condom articles. Use condoms. This is how you go against unprotected, you know, make sure you don't have unprotected sex, all that. Okay, I should specify I'm talking about Dragon Ball. I got a bunch of weird articles. Yeah, it's not a meme in the West. I think it's Japan. Again, it says it's a meme status in Japanese. Alright. Fine, I'll leave it there for now. But okay, it's a meme in Dragon Ball when Yamcha fought Kamihiro Shen. But I mean, okay, sure. Man, it's been so many years since I watched Dragon Ball 2 though. Like the OG Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. The OG Dragon Ball I watched how many years ago? I don't know. So I definitely don't remember a lot of stuff from it. But yeah, alright. He's already dead at the start for all games. Okay. A pitch black hole opened beneath Erika's feet and swallowed her up. She could probably see through to the other side of the hole. It was the same thing you'd see if you looked down through the skylight on the ceiling of this cathedral. Regale is up in here. Regale could already be seen in mid-air inside the cathedral. Huh? I did not have time to read what that spear said. As Erika fell from the heavens, Vergalia was... Is it the same spear that she used against Beato in episode 3? But I forgot what that spear said. It's been a couple episodes. As Erika fell from the heavens, Vergalia was right below her and thrust upwards with her divine spear glowing blue. And Erika's getting a rightful beating here. Regale's blue divine spear skewered and pinned Erika in midair. Erika struggled, filled with hatred, but she couldn't get it out easily. Then, all around her, are familiar faces. Several small fast things clanged off the walls and surrounded her. 7 stakes? Y'all out here? The 7 stakes are out here? Lucifer? Hell yeah, 7 people manifested at once. Oh yeah, oh yes, I am your master now. I am the endless sorcerer, the golden witch, hello. I'm your master now, 7 sisters. Listen to me. Go on. Do your thing. Oh! What? So George didn't die? But why? Now that... Wait. Why? No, why? Seriously. No. This is... Forget what's happening between Backer and Erika right now. Forget this whole thing. What is going on in the island? Let's try to think about this for a second. after George's death, his body was never moved. George was not dead at the time of the discovery of the crime, quote unquote, in the guest house. George wasn't dead. George wasn't dead. Jessica wasn't dead. Rose wasn't dead. Maria wasn't dead. What if Genji never died either? What if none of them died at the time we thought that they died? Yes, it has been said in red that they died, but it has never been specified when. It could have happened during the explosion at the very end. But why? Why would all these people fake their deaths? Why would these people fake their deaths? Why would Hideyoshi fake his death? Everything was framed to make it look like Nazi killed them. But if they all faked their deaths, why? Why would they frame Nazi? They all faked their deaths to frame Nazi for killing them? But why? Is it because of the baby 19 years ago? Wait. The baby 19 years ago. They wanted her to confess that sin? Is that it? Really? What? They really went through this whole elaborate thing. They all agreed with each other that they would all fake their deaths at different times where she would have no alibi. But then what about Cross? Cross doesn't... We also don't know when Cross died either. But why would Cross be in on that? Maybe they convinced Cross. Maybe they convinced Cross because they wanted to know about what happened to the baby 19 years ago, and because Cross is curious, he also went along with this elaborate plan, and they also managed to convince Jessica that go along with this elaborate plan. Jessica and Cross, because we also want to know more about our family. No, that's impossible. Cross died shortly after the phone call. What do we have here? What is going on? This is wild. The more I think about this, the more insane this gets. They all faked their deaths in an elaborate plan to frame Nazi, to have her talk about the sin of 19 years ago. Regarding the baby? That means Battler was in on it. Battler must have been in on it then. And every single other member of the family. But then what about Eva at the very end? She was crying, slapping Nazi. I guess that was also because... Not because her family was actually dead, but because Nazi killed the baby of 19 years ago? What about Kinzo's the study though? The Kinzo stuff. What if they were trying to get a 2-in-1? What if it was an elaborate plan made by the family to frame Nazi for being a murderer, to have Nazi confess that Kinzo didn't actually exist, while also having Nazi confess that the baby of 19 years ago, that she killed the baby of 19 years ago. They were trying to make Nazi confess, so they had her go through all that. If Shannon was in on that plan along with the rest, that's why she knew about the whole... Because she's the only one that knows about the summer stuff. She must have been the one to set up the whole stuff with her room. Was then Kanon the one that to set up the phone call? The knock and letter. The knock and letter. What if there was no such thing? Wait. Was a letter really placed there? What if there was no such knock and letter? What if it never existed to begin with? Wait, I'm gonna read my own red truth now. Knock and letter mystery. Let's go to the knock and letter mystery. Before the family conference, blah blah. Erika left with them to go to the mansion, to go to the guest house. Genji in the second floor corridor. Genji, Cross, Natsu in the second floor corridor. All of us were in the dining hall. Cross, Natsu, and Genji did not even touch that letter. Not a single of them placed that letter in the hallway. None of them locked. Okay. Someone created a fake knocking sound with intent to make it appear that someone knocked. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm reading all my red truths. How did I not think of that? No one in the mansion placed the letter in the hallway. That goes for... Oh my god, I never thought about that. No, that letter never thought... It was never impossible for anyone inside the mansion to place anything... Wait. None of them would be suddenly find a knocking sound. Eric was never in the mansion. I'm starting to realize more and more. Wait. Oh... I correctly theorized that for the letter, for the knock, but not for the letter. The letter never existed, ladies and gentlemen. The letter never existed. The knock never happened. I had it all along. I said the knock never happened, but it didn't. I couldn't conceive it probable that the heads ring. It never. What if it never happened? The family made this whole elaborate plan. They managed to fool both Erika and Naughty? Right? In the guest house! Amen! In the guest house. When the four died in the guest house, in the second floor, the family were very strict about Erika not coming in to see the bodies. Why? No, Erika can come in. Let us respect the dead. Don't come in. They died, but let us respect them. But she has detective authority. She was allowed to go in there. But she never examined the bodies. She just saw the magic circle. She never examined the bodies. And then the bodies were disappeared. There was just a pool of blood. The bodies disappeared. Furthermore, Hideyoshi's body. Again, Erika never examined it. Again, Genji's body, Erika never examined it. Wow. The knock letter never happened. It was all a red truth. The entire thing was just an elaborate red truth to make us think that stuff was going on when really nothing was going on. Right? By making it seem like a knock and letter was placed there. By making it seem like a letter was placed there and a knock happened. They made us think, okay, how is it possible? But we already learned by Batter himself that the observer, that the narration is not impartial, that it can be biased. So the knock and letter never happened. The family set up an elaborate plan to have Nazi be deemed as the culprit, for Nazi to confess the sin of 19 years ago, and for Nazi to admit that Kinto never existed. There is one hole in my theory, and that is Cross's death. How did Cross die? Because Cross died in red shortly after that phone call happened. Did Shannon just kill Cross for the sake of it then? Shannon just killed Cross for no reason? Cross still went through with killing Cross? Shannon still went through with killing Cross? What if the phone call is not a part of the elaborate plan by the family. Only the fake deaths were. The phone call was an independent thing done by Shannon. Why would she do it? I don't know. Why would she try to Shannon did that to Nazi. She was even the one that made it so that Nazi had no alibi when Hideyoshi died. Whoever the culprit was did it on purpose. And killed Cross. Why? I don't know. Couldn't possibly understand the motive in that sense. Okay, but at least I have a theory ground on now. Seems a bit excessive from the family POV to make this whole elaborate plan, but it's the only way that things make sense. This entire episode, I've been thinking about it the wrong way. I've been thinking about how to solve things using the red truth. I've been trying to think about how to solve what happened using the hints that the red truths have given me. Instead, I should have been thinking how to solve things using hints that the red truth haven't given me. The red truth hasn't told me that the knock happened, that the letter was placed there. The red truth hasn't told me that George and the others died when their bodies were found, quote unquote, by the rest. And Hideyoshi and Genji. The red truth hasn't told me that. And because it hasn't told me that, why am I trying to go along this whole elaborate thing that this happened, and what if it never happened? This entire riddle has been made for us to think a lot more of a theory, try to craft up a theory that's a lot more convoluted than the truth, and that is it never happened. This entire thing has been a sham, is what I'm trying to say. Let's keep reading. Cross as well, but Cross did die shortly after the phone call. Unlike the others, we don't know when they died. I like how all 7 stakes had a part to say in that, a part to play in that. Shots fired. A boo-hoo. The pathetic detective. Even with Kinzo's existence denied, Eriko is probably capable of escaping the spin by making only a small revision to her theory. However, to her, having to revise the theory she had already created was extremely humiliating. That's right.
これが魔女の闇を遊んだ報いです。それを知りなさい、フルドエリカ。
Of course, even Erika had doubted Kinzo's existence from the beginning. However, in the trial that had taken place before, no one except Burncastle, as well as Landa Delta, who was going along with her, had been capable of denying Kinzo's existence. And because of the willful silence of those two, she had been free to shape the truth about Kinzo in any way she desired. She never expected that Battler would become a witch, a sorcerer, an endless sorcerer, capable of using red without proof. However, she had her own Inquisitor who could also use red without proof to counter. How is the Nano gonna help you?
ノックス第2条探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。金蔵の死を赤き真実で示すならば、それを構築する人間の真実、証拠の提示を求めます。
許せ、クソじじい。
One more time? This is the second time you've asked him to forgive you. In episode 4 as well, you had to do this.
超えゆけバトラー、我がしかもはね
え。証拠提示。内宮金蔵と識別可能な遺体を提示する。
その遺体が後宮金蔵であると証明することができますか？どれほど金蔵に酷似した遺体であろうとも当人であることを証明できない限り
Polydactyli, polydactyli, polydactyli.
第三者の身代わり死体であるとの主張が可能です。それが金蔵の遺体であることを人間の真実で示せますか？本件のみ赤き真実のみでの反論を無効とします。
Polydactyli. Polydactyli.
へえ、赤き真実での反論を無効？そんな思考もあるのね。
確かに第三者の死体が存在しないことはすでに赤で語られている。しかしそれを赤で語ることを禁じられたらバトラのやつお手上げじゃない。
I see. Once again, using the red and stuff only when it's convenient for you. But don't worry, cause polydactyli.
そうだな。この閉ざされた六軒島では、この死体がじい様のものだと示せる客観的な方法はない。
それこそはこの遺体が替え玉死体である可能性の示唆です。
Doesn't that, by the way, body double, doesn't that go against Nox's 8th commandment? Can you, you know, what sort of clues do we have that Kinzo has a body double? Just saying. Isn't it also Nox's 10th? It violates both Nox's 8th and Nox's 10th commandment that if you want to have a body double out here, you know, if someone's disguising themselves as Kinzo's body double, there's gotta be clues for it. What sort of clues are there for either of those things?
この身元不明遺体が金蔵の死を証明するものにはなり得ません。
チェックメイト。我が推理は揺るぎません。
The Launderer had sealed off the red truth as a means of proving that Kinzo's corpse had been shown. Even with the power of witches, Battler couldn't argue back.
赤き真実を封じられてどうやってその死体を金蔵だと証明するの？
Of course, sealing it only when it's convenient for you. Of course.
無理よ。不可能だわ。
赤と青ならね。
この死体が後宮金蔵の死体であると保証する。
Gold text? In gold? I guarantee that this is the corpse of Ushima Kenzo in gold. What the frick does that even mean? You can guarantee it ain't gold? Then, when Delonor met with Battler's golden flash, she was unable to fully block it with either her red longsword or her blue short sword, and she was blown backwards into the air. It was a direct hit, without any miscalculation. A gold truth? That's the first time I've ever seen a gold truth. Though she had always seemed as firm as a small giant before now, she was finally blasted away and slammed against the wall as though she was the slender girl she appeared to be.
ドラノール、あんた何やって。
見事な黄金の真実。
What is a gold truth? Ogun no truth?
有効です。
That's crazy. I just made my own red truth because that's what's up. I'm making my own rules now.
黄金の真実。
The golden longsword, which had been joined red and blue trails before now, finally drew a trail which retained its divine golden color. Right, it's because Battler knows the truth of everything that he can now say something with gold truth. Is that it? It's like the truth of the game master. When you know everything, you can make gold truth. The truth he showed was neither red nor blue. It was gold truth. What?
何それ。ラムダ、こんなのはルールにあるの？
ええ、黄金の真実、有効よ。黄金の真実はこの世界の領主、いえ、ゲームマスターにしか使えない。
See, that's what I thought. Yeah, so the game master can use it because they know the truth, the actual truth. Okay.
なんですって。
Battler just coming out here with the gold truth. Let's go.
黄金の真実、赤き真実とは異なる方法によって紡がれる神なる真実。その力は赤き真実と同等です。時に劣るでしょう。しかし時に勝る。
Superior!
その輝きこそがバトラ君が本当にベアトを理解した証。
示したぜ、この死体がじい様であることを。
はい、黄金の真実受理しました。
Let's go.
エリカ教の推理は修正に応じぬ限り破綻します。
And just the fact that she has to make a revision is extremely humiliating. Erika cried out in pain. It wasn't the pain of her body being impaled. It was the pain of her own theory being defiled.
なるほど。
Do you think that that pain can be compared to Nazi's pain? Huh?
叙実トリックの寄せ集めかと思ったわ。これはいつの間に。とんだ傑作集だわ。
バトラー、それ以上語るは野暮に過ぎるわ。あんたの遺体消失の真実、もはやこれ以上語らずとも完全に理解させてもらったわ。なるほどね。あんたの考えてるそれはこれまでの皇帝の全ての赤に矛盾しない。19年前の男の復讐を軸にしたあんたの真実、その全て理解し受理したわ。あんたの真実の成立を宣言する。そんな、どうしてですか、ダイラムダゼルタ卿。あいつはまだ全てを説明しきっていません。
秀吉の密室や夏日の自室の封印やクローゼットのボタンやまだまだ他にも反論の手段が用意してあります。
The still Nazi's room and the button in the closet. Oh! Oh, you have a seal Nazi's room. Alright.
あんたまだバトラーに反論できる気でいるの？
Only Erica, the one who was supposedly so intelligent, couldn't understand. She couldn't understand Batter had already found the real truth.
以上によりじい様の不在は証明され、夏日おばさん、じい様をめぐる不名誉は返上される。
Oh, thank goodness. We really needed to get that proven because the fact that that cat box wasn't open until now was kind of rough. But now we know it's proven. So no matter what truth you make, there's no interpretation where you can tell me that there was some sus relations going on there. We now know there wasn't. All right. You can make many different truths about a single event, right? That's what the Brown Tube trial says. But we know for sure you cannot make one. Or at least not for this specific timeline, if that makes sense. That there were any relations because of between Nazi and Kinzon anyway.
夏日おばさん、純潔にして停粛だ。貴様ら好みの下劣な物語は許さない。
She's still listening to me? That's what's up.
さらにこれまでの死者全員の死亡時間に疑義が生じる以上、夏日おばさん以外全員のアリバイは白紙に戻る。もはや夏日おばさん以外に犯行が不可能であるとの論法は通用しない。
So really, it's pointless to argue about the locked room in Hideyoshi's room or the Genji stuff. It's pointless because people don't have alibis no more, right? George's alibis go away, Jessica's alibi goes away, Rosa's alibi goes away, Maria's alibi goes away. You know what I mean? Even Genji and Hideyoshi's own alibi go away now. But I mean, Lanor, who must have risen to her knees at some point, slowly stood up. The flash from the golden longsword was still carved deep into her chest. Though pain didn't show in her expression, her awkward movements clearly showed how serious the damage she had taken was. Even though she herself knew that this spelled the total end of the match, Delano didn't abandon her duty.
されどあなたはいとこ部屋にて5人不可能な遺体を確認されております。それが虚偽であったとおっしゃるのですか？ノックス第7条、探偵が犯人であることを禁ず。
I ain't the detective.
探偵は客観的視点を義務付けられています。
But I ain't the detective.
あなたの推理はこの義務に違反です。
I ain't the detective. My body was being controlled by Burn, in fact, at that time. My body was being controlled not by me. So even if I am the detective, I wasn't playing at the time.
探偵はフルドエリカだぜ。今回の俺は探偵じゃない。
So both of those things are true. So not only is Batter not the detective, I've only been the detective in previous games. From here on out, it seems like Eric is the detective. And like I said, I wasn't the one controlling my piece at the time.
そしてノックス第9条、観測者は自分の判断解釈を主張することが許される。
Look at that.
ノックス第8条、提示されない
What clues have not been presented?
これまでのあなたは探偵でした。
Okay.
そのあなたが今回は探偵でなく試験を交える観測者であったことは示されていたのです。
Yes! Yes!
それがない限りあなたには主観を偽る権利はありません。
Okay. What? That's... Why are you even trying? Which means, if Battler doesn't have an objective viewpoint, this means that him seeing Kinzo, that's right, Battler seeing Kinzo was not objective. Battler seeing Kinzo, because Kinzo's already dead. That's been established. Kinzo's already dead. Battler could not have seen Kinzo back when he was solving the riddle with Erika. Erika never saw Kinzo, but Battler had seen him. That's not objective. There you go.
俺は今回のゲームで自分の謎の仕掛けを解いた時
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's what I was just talking about this.
すでに赤で示されている通り
Yes!
じい様は存在しない
Let's go, Battler! Spot on! I was spot on, yo! I was spot on!
その目撃は不可能だ
Yes, it was an objective!
俺の視点に客観性がないことは
Yes!
すでに示されている
Yes! Let's go! Oh my god, I said this! And he said it as... That feels good, you know. That feels good. You know, that we were on the same page there in this specific front. That felt good. Alright, let's go. Let's go. I did not even... I was not aware he was about to say this. That's crazy.
それは風雨になびくシートか何かをあなたが誤認しただけの可能性があります。
oh, London, I can't wait.
ノックス第9条を示す伏線とはなり得ません。
Okay.
誤認は全ての観測者に許された権利です。
Alright, so guess what, Blanor? I don't know if you've been watching previous games, but you wanna guess something, Blanor? Kinzo cannot be misidentified by sight. That is something that has been confirmed in a previous episode, in episode 4. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was in episode 4. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Exactly. You heard me right. Yes, Kinzo cannot be misidentified, which means Battler could not have mistaken Kinzo for someone else. Wait a minute. But that also means what that also means is that what this also means is that Beato must have put Kinzo there on purpose to show that Battler, to show a clue that Battler's point of view is not objective in this game. Right? Why else would Kinzo have been there? If Beato is the one that controls the game, but maybe she doesn't control the 5th game. But still, maybe she did that on purpose so that Battler could come to this realization that, yeah, but my point of view from here on out is not objective.
第4のゲームにてベアトが示した赤き真実
Oh!
全ての人物
Let's
後
go.
ろ宮金蔵を見間違わない
Let's go. Me and Battler are on the same page. Let's go. I call this. That's right. Showed in the 4th game. Should still stand. It's a red truth Beato used to counter my blue truth claim that someone disguised themselves as grandfather and thereby made it seem as though he had appeared. In other words, on this island, anything which might lead someone to visually mistake something for grandfather, including someone else pretending to be grandfather, cannot ever work. Visually by the way, not audibly. Audibly is a different thing, but visually. The scheme Aunt Nazi once put together to make it seem as though grandfather's alive only involved her saying things like, "He was here just a second ago," or "He's in his study alone now," cleverly exploiting the relative's blind spots to pretend he was there. She never tried to make anyone mistake something they saw for grandfather himself, so there are no contradictions. If she had tried to dress one of the servants in grandfather's robe, it would probably have been seen through in an instant. It has been guaranteed that none of the characters in this tale would mistake something for grandfather by sight. If someone still claims to have seen grandfather, it becomes a falsehood. Everyone is permitted the right to falsify their observations, but there is one person who does not have that right, Erika. And that person is the detective.
風になびくシートを見間違え、それを何であったと誤認して語るのか。ノックス第9条の権利。しかし、悪魔だと誤認することだけは赤き真実において本ゲームでは許されていない。
金像を見たと主張された時点で誤認識ではなく意図的、すなわち観測の客観性が否定されていることの証というわけですか。
I mean, yeah. Right? That means Backer recognized that it wasn't Kinzo, but for some reason intentionally said that it was. But Backer wasn't controlling his piece at the time. Byrne was. Does that mean that Byrne was trying to help Batter achieve this conclusion? I don't know. Was it Beto that helped Batter achieve this conclusion? I don't know. But we for sure got to this conclusion. In this case, unintentional misrecognition is not permitted by the rules of this game. However, it is possible to intentionally lie about seeing something you never saw. And that is an action not permitted to a detective burdened with the responsibility of an impartial perspective. I mean, in a way, being a detective is restrictive, huh?
これで決着だぜ。
いいえ、いいのです。
And this time you went all out, Lanor. Unlike the time in the study, this time you really did go all out. But I got the W for real this time.
あなたのような男が世界にいてくれたなら、どのような傲慢からもか弱き真実を守ってくれたに違いない。もっともらしい一つの真実がか弱き真実たちを駆逐し、唯一の真実であると語る横暴から本当の真実を守ってくれたに違いない。
Battler's golden longsword drew a massive blue arc as though splitting the heavens.
あなたと戦えてよかったです。
よって今回のゲームにおける俺の観測は第7条でなく第9条に基づく。じいさまを見たと主張したことがその証だ。
Yeah. The noise which rang out across the cathedral was the sound of Glanor's longsword clattering to the floor. Simply letting go of that was the same as resigning to the proud Glanor. Though the blue trail Battler had drawn was aiming right for the top of Glanor's head, it stopped a hair's breadth away. If it hadn't, Glanor would probably have been annihilated without leaving a single scrap of flesh behind.
リザインです。あなたの真実の否定を断念します。
借りは返した。お前の親父に敬意を。実戒は傲慢でも批判でもなかった。
父に敬意。
Leonard sat down on the floor and completely abandoned her will to fight.
何やってるんですかドラノール。情けない、みっともない、間抜けな薄のの殺人人形。あんたは自分の父の名誉に泥を塗ったわ、恥知らず。それでもミステリーのくさび、魔法に屈するの。そんなのミステリーの歴史が許さない。
お前こそ何もミステリーを分かってないな。ミステリーが相手を知的に見下すための狂気にしか見えてないなら、お前、俺は二度とそれを語らせない。
Yo, she's gonna hate me for the rest of her life, you know. Erika's for real gonna hate me for the rest of her life. And she can bring it, yo. She can bring it, alright? I did my duty.
お前に相反する真実を宣言する。夏代おばさんは19年前の男、すなわち俺によって内戦電話で脅迫されていたんだ。その目的は夏代おばさんを殺人犯に仕立て上げること。
I mean, and the voice actor that was used is the same as Battler's voice actor, to be fair.
これは初めから夏代おばさんに濡れ衣を着せるための復讐劇だ。
違います。夏日が仕組んだ後ろ宮邸の復讐劇です。あなたの推理は私と真っ向から相反します。
And both of them are allowed to exist at the same time. But as long as both of them are allowed to exist at the same time, we cannot conclusively call either Battler or Nazi the culprit. And so we stop things there.
お前のその青い矢でまだ抜けないよ。
そうね。エリカからはまだ金蔵以外の理由での遺体消失を聞いていないわ。あんたの推理は現在否定中だけれど、
こんな槍など。文鎮どもめ、邪魔な。
The deeply piercing blue spear and the 7 red stakes tormented her theory. They won't come out. They won't come out!
修正とエリカの推理の誤りを認めるわ。そんな我が主。
Watching Erika's face contort with pain as she struggled to escape from the spear, Bernkastel declared this with a disgusted expression. For all intents and purposes, it was as if Bernkastel had acknowledged Erika's defeat herself. With eyes of shock and despair, Erika looked up at the master who no longer had any confidence in her victory.
あんたのプライドなんて知ったことじゃないわ。
Damn!
いつまでその無様な姿を晒す気なの。私と同じ青い髪を許された分身がいつまでそこで貼り付けになっているつもり。私自らやはり降臨しなきゃダメなのかしら。やはり駒なんていらないわ。ああ、めんどくさいめんどくさい七めんどくさい。駒なんていらないわ。捨ててしまおう。ああ、残念、無念、失望、絶望、期待外れの的外れ。早くしなさいよクズが。お前のそのみっともない推理を修正しろって言ってんでしょ。
But you called it perfect not too long ago, Bern. Quick to go back on your word, huh?
はい、我が主、修正いたします。我が推理を修正いたします。
Man, this is pathetic, yo. As Erika's face twisted in humiliation and tears streamed from her eyes, she withdrew and revised her own theory in accordance with her master's order. Mumbling quietly, she made various revisions with the blue truth, had them annulled by Lambda Delta, and finally had the blue spear smashed and was freed. Though that blue truth did indeed explain how the bodies had disappeared, it was truly shabby reasoning that reeked of desperation.
我が主抜けました。我が推理は完璧です。どこがブサのこの上ないの？でも許してあげる。あんたのその顔と推理がとっても情けなくて笑えるから。
Erika was taunted by her master, who wore an ugly expression. She thrashed about on the floor, crying bitter tears. Grrr. The wounded Lanord stepped out before her, as though shielding her, and she spoke to Burncastle as well as Battler.
どれほどみすぼらしかろうと修正されたエリカ教の真実は有効
This is true. And like I said, I have not given up hope for Erika. I know this is supposed to be that we laugh at her because she's supposed to be pathetic or whatever. I get it, you know what I mean? She ain't no saint or whatever, but also, I do believe that she can grow from this. She can grow to understand, you know, the power of love, essentially. I do believe that, and I shall at least not give up on Erika. And this is something that, you know, I wouldn't have thought at the start of this visual novel. At the start of the visual novel, I'm sure I would have gone, Erika sucks, haha, that's what you get for doing Nazi like that. But now, you know, things change, you know what I mean? Erika may not... I do think Erika by the end of episode 8, or by the end of... I don't know if she's gonna be there by episode 8, I don't know. She was supposed to stay in this fragment with according to Burn, but I don't know anymore. But if Erika does appear in future episodes, I do believe that slowly but surely Erika will grow to be better, if that makes sense. A better person, you know what I mean? So she'll see the love in things, and she won't just act as detective horror the entire time. I do believe it.
ああ、そうだ。俺の真実に関係なく、お前の真実も同時に存在する。
And Battler respects Erika too. He respects her theory that, okay, it can exist, fine.
それがこの世界だ。誰にも否定できないから。いくつだ。どんなに相互が矛盾したか。それらの真実は同時に存在できる。ここでは想像の数だけ真実があっていいんだ。それを誰も一方的に否定してはならない。
はい、そうです。エリカ教の真実は私が誰にも否定させません。
I won't. And then I hope you two won't deny my truth either. We have 3 separate truths now. We've got Battler's truth that he's the culprit, Erika's truth. We also have my truth that they all faked their deaths. Well, that's kind of part of Battler's truth too, but Battler says that he's the culprit, but I know that Battler's not the culprit. I know for a fact Battler's not the culprit. I know for a fact Nazi's not the culprit, so... But again, both of those truths can exist at the same time. So I've tried to make my own theory knowing that it's neither Battler nor Nazi, even though they are the truth of both Battler and Erika. I do think neither of them are the culprit, but I'm wondering, yeah, how. But I do have my own truth going on, basically. I don't think Battler's it, but I do think they faked their deaths. But I don't think Battler was the one that killed them.
ドラの
このドラノールある限りその真実をお守りいたします。どんなにみすぼらしくとも私はその真実を嘲笑いはしません。
The words of Tlanor, whom Erika had previously looked down upon, led Erika to once again thrash about on the floor, sobbing.
そして唯一の真実が存在しない限り全ては闇の底だ。すなわち俺の推理もエリカの推理も否定不能であると同時に唯一の真実でもない。否定できないが絶対でもないあやふやなものだ。確定しない以上魔女幻想はまだ存在している。
Which means Beato gets revived?
それを暴くことが許されている。エリカでなければ貴様らでもこの俺だけだ。俺以外にベアトリーチェの魔女幻想は暴かせない。
判決を変更。後宮バトラの示した真実によりエリカの真実の唯一性は失われた。しかしエリカの真実は否定不能。よって2人の真実は並び立つ。第5のゲームの決着を撤回。ゲームはイーブンに戻るわ。そしてゲームマスターは私から黄金の
はあ
後宮
You're doing what? Oh, the Golden Sorcerer. Oh, I'm the Game Master now? What is this? I've gained newfound powers? Does that mean from here on out I'll know what's going on? Right. Do I know what the truth from here on out? So you're telling me that the rest of these episodes from here on out will be seeing things how they actually happen? Because I'll know the truth. I'll know the golden truth, right? I'm the new Game Master? Oh, I've gained power.
あんたを新しいゲームマスターに任命するわ。
How will I create the sixth game? How is the sixth game going to go?
承諾するわよね。しなさい、新しい無限の魔女。
Damn, I'm a new witch!
ああ、俺が新しいゲームマスターだ。
What?
第6のゲームは俺が紡ぐ。
Oh,
エリカ、今度こそ俺と決着をつけようじゃ。
Battle leaves the sixth game? How is this gonna go? No! Dude, this game is always surprises me. This visual novel always surprises me. I did not expect Battle to be the next Game Master. What?
立て。
立ちますとも。
Now I'm excited to see how Battle is going to interpret the sixth game board.
この屈辱、話す機会を与えたことを後悔させましょう。我が主、第6のゲームにてもう一度バトラと戦う機会をお与えください。
No permission? Permission or no?
ええ、
Okay, she has been giving permission.
もちろんよ。チャンスをあげる。あら、すごいわね。あなたがチャンスをあげるなんて。これって奇跡じゃないの？奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル。エリカ、奇跡的にあなたは命拾いしたの。第6のゲーム、バトラのゲーム。
Battler's game.
何としても暴きなさい。忘却の闇に捨てられたくなければね。
Is she gonna continue being the detective then?
はい我が主
Alright, no sign of character development for Erika yet though. I was hoping to see a sign of character development. Hoping the 6th game is get to some signs of character development for Erika. Because I do hope that she starts to understand love eventually.
ドラノール
無論です次なるゲームにても全力を尽くします
Alright, we'll meet you there, Lanor.
もう客人のふりはしません私とドラノールであなたのゲームを引き裂いてみせます
ああ招待してやるぜ俺の悪いがタイトルはお前のつけたチェックメイト・オブ・ザではなくなるぜ
Oh, so it's not going to be Checkmate of the Golden Witch? Yes! Okay, I did think it was a bit of a lame title. Alright, Backer, give it the name. Give it the new name. Please give me a tease, give me another preview, or else I'll have to check it out next time.
あなたのゲームですあなたが名付けるといいでしょう
Oh, I can decide? I can decide? Batter, what are you going to call it? Batter, what's the name?
その挑戦望むところです私はフルドエリカ魔女である以前に探偵
Okay. Alright, I can decide the name. Oh, so this next game the name is going to be decided by me. It's the first time ever. Will I get to decide the 7th game? Well, that's not necessarily sure because we don't know if Batter is going to be the game master of the 7th game as well.
あなたがこのゲームの新たな支配者であることを認めそして宣戦布告します
War!
絶対に暴いてやる殺してやる黄金の魔術師後ろ宮バトラ
Hey, yo, I like that title though, you know. Golden Sorcerer, Endless Sorcerer, let's go. Alright, alright. New Master, alright, that's me, I'm the new Master.
ああ存分にかかってこいフルドエリカ
Hell yeah. Just watch, Beato. I'll take charge of your game. And in this next game, I'll prove that I completely understand all of your riddles. Oh. Oh. Okay. And if you take charge, right, you're going to be the game master. Okay, wow, this is going to be an interesting POV. Because it's going to be Batter. But Batter's going to employ the riddles. Because the witches defiled this game, the 5th game, right? Because Lambda was the game master and Erika's playing along with it. But because Batter's doing it, he's going to do it in a more respectful way than the way Lambda was doing it, right? He's not going to do... Batter's obviously going to do things that Beato wouldn't do. But he's not going to defile the game the same way Lambda and Byrne did, right? Oh, that's cool. Oh, wait, that's it? How long have I been reading? Oh, this song is going in. Okay, it's going ham. I like how this song is just the one of the OSTs. I think it's Bounce or something, but except it's actually sung now. It's one of the OSTs just sung and extra rocky. It's one of the Slice of Life OSTs. You can hear it. Zaki, that's the go. ZTS, that's another go. Wait, how long have we been recording? Wasn't the Unhuman part supposed to be 2 hours long? Oh god, have I been recording for over 3 hours? Nah. Have I been recording for that long? Nah. Have I? No way, bruh. That was so good. I was trying to split it into 2 parts. I was planning to split it into 2 parts, but this finished faster than I thought it would. I didn't find a good place to end it anyway, so I didn't really know when was a good spot to finish it. But okay. Alright. Cool. Last song right there. Alright. Alright. I'm so tempted to find out what the episode 6 is going to be called. Because now we're good. Oh yeah, we're also going to see a new picture, a new banner, a new, you know what I'm talking about, new home screen. New home screen thing. Because last time we saw the ocean thing, because that's where Nazis threw the baby off. That was what this was about. What's episode 6? What is it? Oh. Okay, it's the Golden Land. Right then, we got new characters, new tips, and a new episode here. Now I'm not gonna scroll to it, but there's episode 6 over there. I don't want to scroll through it because I don't want to get spoiled on what episode 6 is called. We're gonna be checking it out next time. Let's look at the trophies. We got some new trophies. And yeah, that's the end of episode 5, everybody. That's the end of episode 5. Episode 5 tips, characters. I think the only trophy I got was, yeah, finish the Hidden Tea Party, also known as the Unhuman Party, as I like to call it. And yeah, that was episode 5. Unhuman Party. Recorded in a single part rather than 2 parts, because I did not find a good place to end it anywhere in the middle. I didn't find a good spot where I could go, I can end this here and it'll fit nicely. So, new tips and stuff, you can check out the tips. We already read all the tips, so kind of useless. Anything in the grimoire? Nope, we read everything. Cool. New character in the character files. You can check that out as well. Why not? We can execute characters. So we can try executing Kinzo. We cannot. We can try executing Cross. We know what happens though. Yeah. We can try executing Nazi. We cannot. Jessica, we don't have it. What happens if we try to execute Erika? Nothing. We can't execute Erika. Can we execute Eva? Can we execute Hideyoshi? Yes, we can, because he did die. Okay. We can't execute any of the alive people, can we? Alright, we're gonna leave things there then. Which side? What happens if we execute... What happens if we execute Erika? We can't on the witch side. What's another new character? Dlanor. What happens if we execute Dlanor? Oh, wait, what? Change. It says change. We'll check that in a second. Execute. I can't execute her, but I can change her. Change. Wait, what? She wears... When has she ever worn glasses? She's just wearing glasses. What? I don't remember her wearing glasses. Am I blind? I mean, she must be blind if she's wearing glasses. No, I'm joking. Alright, so she's wearing glasses sometimes. Okay, that's the only change we get. Can we execute Cornelia? Can't. Okay, execute Gertrude. We can't. Jester 556. Okay. We can't do anything else. Can we execute Lambda Delta? Can we execute Battler? Can we execute Beato? Oh, we can! Oh! Okay. The bear teacher on the highest plane and the one who created this world entrusted everything to Battler during the 4th game and gave up the position of Game Master. She has lost not only the will to fight, but even the will to express herself, and is now little more than a doll. Okay, in the world of the game board, those who do not fight have no meaning. Her existence is gradually losing its value and will probably break down and disappear before too long. Okay. So we can execute Beato. Okay, can we execute anyone else? Good thing I checked that if you can execute Beato or not. I doubt if the Chester sisters will work. I think they're all alive. Cool. I think we checked out the character files pretty extensively. I don't think we're gonna find anything else. Y'all let me know though. I think we checked it out real well. Real good, real well, real good, whatever. Picture box. Do we have any new pictures from the Unhuman party? I mean, this is just from episode 4. Not necessarily new. But is anything else new? Nope. 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 Here we go. Battler's attack. This is new. Okay. We also have the golden attack. Golden battler, the golden sorcerer. We also have Genji's defense. He's looking down on you. Hmm. Hmm. Hey! Sparks coming out. Alright. Coolio. And that's it, I guess? Yep, that is it. And some secret pictures that we don't know what those are. We don't know. And that's it. That's the end of Umineko when they cry. Episode 5. I'll see you guys next time for episode 6. We're going to be starting it off with Battler as the Game Master. This episode has been great, right? Of course. Definitely one of my favorites so far. I can see why people have told me, even my friend told me this is one of his favorite episodes so far. I'm gonna have to agree that this was arguably even better than episode 3, but that can of course be argued. But Nazi's story really impacted me emotionally, for sure. We also had some great soundtracks, new soundtracks for the Answer arcs, at least so far. I'm sure we're gonna be introduced more in episode 6. And now we fully understand why this episode was called End of the Golden Witch. The only episode I still understand the name of is Banquet. Why was episode 3 called Banquet of the Golden Witch? I don't know. Episode 1 being Legend of the Golden Witch, I get it. Episode 2 being Turn of the Golden Witch, okay. Episode 3 being Banquet, I don't get it. Episode 4 being Alliance, obviously, ANG, makes sense. Episode 5 being End of the Golden Witch, yep, it was the End of the Golden Witch, right? Beato died, we saw her dying, and, Lambda took over the game board, and now Battler's taking over after that. And because Beato died, Battler figured out the truth after Beato died. So yeah, it's the end of the Golden Witch. She's no longer the game master. I get it. Episode 3 being Banquet, I don't know why. Episode 2 being Turn the Golden Witch, it was Beato's turn, right? She went at Battler ruthlessly, so I don't know why it's called Turn. Episode 1 being Legend of the Golden Witch, right? The whole riddle stuff, right? We learn about the legend. This is the start of everything. I get it. Alright. Episode 6, I don't know what's going to be called. I don't know episode 7 or 8 are going to be called either, but I'm excited to learn what they're going to be called eventually. And we'll see. We'll see next time though. I could check it out right now, but y'all know the tradition. I always check out the name of the episode after I finish an episode, right? Or at the start of the first part of the episode. So I didn't know what episode 5 was called End of the Golden Witch until after the first part of this episode. So it's not going to be called Checkmate of the Golden Witch like Erica wanted to. It's going to be called whatever Battler this is going to decide calling it. So this is the first episode where Battler decides what the title of this episode is. So I'm excited what Battler is going to choose to call this of the Golden Witch. Something of the Golden Witch. What is Battler going to call it? I don't know. Maybe it's going to say love of my you know what I mean, my beloved Golden Witch or something, or maybe not. Maybe he's going to say, I don't know, Battler. What would Battler call? Oh, what is a Battler title? What is a very Battler-esque title? Beloved of my Golden Witch. I don't really know. We'll see. That's the whole point. Next time we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this at least as much as I enjoyed reading it. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 5 at least as much as I enjoyed episode 5 myself. watching me through this episode has been incredible. I hope it has been as incredible as Bree was reading it. Because, like I said, this episode, I can see why it's among everyone's favorites. It is also so far among my two favorites, being episode 3 and episode 5 so far. It was pretty solid. So, yeah, the answer arc so far, starting off well. We're starting off well. All right, episode 6. Let's see what you've got. I know my friend, my friend hasn't told me that episode 6 was either good or bad, but he has told me that episode 7 was really good, or at least he found episode 7 to be really good. He has not read episode 8 yet, by the way. Fun fact. Yes, my friend has not read episode 8 yet. Because I've already talked about my friend before. I'm not going to talk about it again now. But yeah. But he has read episode 7. He did say that episode 7 was one of his favorites, along with episode 5 and 3. So 3, 5, 7 were like his 3 favorites. But he said that he remembers episode 7 to be really good. He hasn't said anything either positive or negative about episode 6. She hasn't said anything about it being good or bad. So, which is honestly even better. Honestly, I shouldn't be going into these episodes without any expectations. Like, you also shouldn't even let me know which episode is good or not. It's probably best if I go in without any expectations, and then, seeing maybe episode 6 becomes my favorite. Maybe it does become my favorite. Maybe I'll love it even more than episode 5 and episode 3 and every other episode. Who knows? That's the whole thing. We'll have to wait and see to when I start episode 6, which will be next time. Who knows when? Who knows, when it'll be uploaded, but it will be uploaded eventually. But yeah, episode 5 finito. Alright, that's the first episode of the answer arcs. 3 more to go. Okay, 3 more to go. So we are officially over halfway past the visual novel now. That feels good, That feels good. We've made some solid progress now, haven't we? Alright. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this at least as much as I enjoyed reading it. And I'll see you guys for episode 6. Alright, y'all. Peace.